Hey everybody, it is Josh Olive with Haven Comics and the Haven Comics Quiz Show. That's right, we're going to ask geeks questions and see if they know the answers. That is a time-honored tradition in the geek community, and we are going to engage in that tonight. So, if you like that kind of thing and witty repartee, you'll have to go somewhere else. But if you just want questions, those we have. Hopefully we'll have some answers too. In the meantime, we're going to play this little intro, and that gives you a second to hit the like button if you like the show. If you hate the show, hit the like button just to spite us. It's me. I'm still here, and I would like to talk to you guys for a minute about the Haven Comics Quiz Show. As I said, it's a place where we ask questions, get answers, hand out prizes, generally have a good time, talk about nerd stuff. And to talk about nerd stuff, you need a nerd. And the biggest nerd that I know is my co-host, Mr. Jeremy Long. Oh, I said Long. That's a different Jeremy. You're Jeremy Bernard. Wait. Darn, you have the C-137. I was going to put that.
We can be from the same dimension.
I don't think we
probably are.
Do you think we are?
I hope so.
Huh.
We interact in the same dimension.
Well, maybe we're just in that weird holding place where you get dropped off.
I have a very unique take on portals. If you go through one, you have killed yourself. Personally, real quick, I'm going to sum it up. Whatever comes out of the other side, something dematerialized in this. Like, let's say I walk through a portal, right? I have dematerialized, boom, dead. And then if some clone of me or like rematerialization of me comes out, cool. Maybe it even has the same conscious, but it's not me. So that's my theory summed up.
That is an interesting theory. So does that hold true in Star Trek as well?
Man, I hope so. I don't even like that show.
But if you get beamed up, right? If you get teleported from point A to point B, they dematerialize you. Do you die in that process as well?
I think so. Hey, if you kill a cow and then rematerialize it as a hamburger, it's dead. It's the same thing. Maybe there's a little more science to it.
It's not the same thing. It's if you dematerialize a cow and then you rematerialize the same cow and it can still continue with its normal functions. This is a very different question.
Hey, there are a lot of nerdier guys than me in our chat. Please let us know what you think about my theory.
I guess we should check in with the folks in the chat because the chat is rocking over here. Let's see who all we've got tonight. We have got the one true Zachary, of course, who thinks it's going to be a fun ride. Hopefully he is correct. We have an apology to make to the other Zach, Crash. We were trying out some things and you accidentally got put in timeout for 5 minutes. You know our track record is not good for banning people and that kind of thing. But this says just 5 minutes. So you're not permanently banned for life like Nick Ellis. God rest his soul. Jeffrey Middleton hitting us up, already popping out with the adventure talk. Must be good backstage combo. It was very good. Thank you very much. Comics and Death Metal. What's happening, Ryan? Glad to have you, sir. Travis Goodman in the house. Sherry Callahan's with us, which means we have Panda. Not that Panda, different Panda. But always good to see Sherry. Hope everybody's doing well. Andrew, buy yourself a comic cloak. If you need to protect your comics, this man makes a really cool product that will help you do that. Already representing the Team YouTube tonight, so we'll have to talk to our special guest about the factions, and maybe he'll have some recommendations on how to deal with that. Jacqueline Cook is in the house. Hello, Jacqueline. All right. One True Zachary saying hey to everybody. Norris Vaughn, welcome. Nice to see you here. Justin is in the house. Oh, my God, we're in trouble now. Peter Lewis has joined us. Jay Thornton's in the house. Everybody's on tonight. This is awesome. Oh, this is Justin from another dimension. Sorry. So there you go. Did Jeremy delete your last message? No, that wasn't Jeremy. That was just a mistake, and we apologize profusely. It's what we do. Christine May is in the house. Hope everybody's doing well. Ooh, that's an observation for you. How do you feel about that?
I'll take it. I deserve that.
The one true Zachary again. Alan Breedlove is here on his way back to work. Back to work? That's not right, Alan. I know what you do for a living. That doesn't make any sense. And why is Bill here? Are you not dragging Bill back to work with you? Makes no sense. Once again, Jerry's lost all of his nerd cred.
Did I have
How
it?
much do you have left?
None.
People think you're slightly overcomplicating portals, but okay. Let's see.
Bring me the science. I want to see the science on portals.
We have medical expertise here in the house now, so if anybody hurts themselves or goes through a portal and dies, we have a doctor here who can hopefully bring you back.
If you're brave enough to go through a portal, all power to you. It's just not for me.
You wouldn't do it?
Mm-mm.
And you've watched other people successfully do it, but you don't think you would do it?
When have I done that? I've seen some TV.
Uh-oh. Now the Justins are having an infight. The different dimensional Justins. I just don't want to see that. There's going to be a lot of blood. Uh-oh, wow. That's harsh. Negative nerd cred. You are now a jock. Oh, Lord have mercy. Wow. So we've got a lot of folks in the house just rocking right out of the gate, which is awesome. So I think they're probably all here because this is an awesome show and we have a good time with it. But I think they're also probably here because we've got a special guest tonight that they're excited about. What do you think?
I hope so. I'm super excited to talk to this guy. You want to go ahead and bring him on?
I think we should go ahead and bring him on.
All right.
Let us introduce him.
I'm going to hit up his about page real quick because even though I could spit out facts about this guy, but he has done quite a bit, like a lot. Okay, so make sure I get all this stuff right. So he's a 2-time Eisner-nominated comic creator. He is the writer of Rick and Morty, several issues of Rick and Morty. It's my understanding he's the longest running writer on Rick and Morty. He's created Sex Castle, Kill Them All, Rock Candy Mountain. He just did the 6 sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. I knew I was going to mangle that. I picked that up off of the shelf last week. So
yeah, what comic book store did you get that from? There's only one right answer here because otherwise it's through a portal with you.
I have been told not to make jokes about this anymore. So of course, Haven Comics, the best comic book store in every dimension. And there's a lot of stuff on here.
Actually, that's a really cool tagline. If we could, if our lawyer would let us use that.
Hey, prove it wrong, right? Go through some portals and come back and tell us. Also, real quick, Mars Attacks, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Secret Wars from Marvel Comics, Secret Wars 2. So a lot here. Can we bring him on?
I think we should. There he is, Mr. Kyle Stark.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm the longest tenured writer and the 3rd longest tenured artist somehow too. I'm the Rick and Morty comic book daddy, though not really anymore. And I've made more issues of the comic than there are episodes of the show until episode 2, I think, of the new season. So,
wow.
For many years, I've been the most prolific Rick and Morty comic book storyteller. Period. I take much pride in that. I have not done a Rick and Morty comic in a year since the pandemic. So,
wow. Okay, so I'm sure you get like nerd questions all the time about your career. Do I have permission to ask you about that kind of stuff? I don't want to be that guy who's like, tell me everything.
You want to ask about my career? Go ahead.
Yeah. So tell us about your career.
You want my origin story?
So
I was a wee lad.
People always get on me because I'm always like, hey, what's the questions. I always ask questions that make people uncomfortable, but really, I just don't like small talk, so I just jump right into it.
Get after it, man. I'm not the uncomfortable type, unless you're asking like my penis size or something, man. And listen, that's nothing for me to be ashamed of, so I can talk about it, I guess. It just makes me a little comfortable. I'm doing all right.
What happened to you that sent you down the path to be, it's a lonely path being an artist and a writer, and you combined them. Yeah.
So here's my I'll try to do my origin story as quickly as possible. When I was just talking to my friend, my artist on 6 Sidekicks, who's my best friend and virtual studio mate. I started working when I was 14. I started working at a comic book store that was also a used bookstore, video rental store, used music, baseball cards, pornography. It had everything. My uncle's name is Tony Starks. So I've been into comics forever. He sells Golden and Silver Age comics. I've been reading comics my whole life. I worked at the store from 14 to I went to college to be a fine artist, and then that's the 90s, so I was out of comics. The 90s were bad. I'm definitely, for sure, my friend. I got out of comics. You know, I thought I was going to be a fine artist. I thought I was a drunk for a long time. I was just out of comics. I got married when I was 28. We started having kids. And after we had my first kid, I realized I'd never have free time again. So I sort of made this list of things to do before my life was no longer my own. And number one was I never fully created a finished comic. I'd never done 24 pages. Maybe I did 8 pages. Maybe I did 12 pages. So I was like, I'm gonna do a comic. I ended up doing a web comic solely for my own purposes. It ended up being a 180-page graphic novel. That's stupid. Don't do it that way. It got discovered. I didn't promote it. I wasn't trying to do anything. This was just me doing a thing that I wanted to show I could do. But I found once I was doing it, I really liked it. So I got discovered by a popular comic site, and I was like, oh, I'll do a Kickstarter and I'll go to shows, right? So I started going to shows. I really like going to conventions. The second book I did was Sex Castle, which I Kickstarted. I did one of my favorite shows, which is Heroes Con in Charlotte. And
great show. Love that.
It's the best show. All shows are very good.
Every show.
But Heroes is like the purest comic experience of shows that I've been to. So I did the show, and if you've ever been to Charlotte, there's this place called Mertz. Do you know Mertz, Josh? All right, Mertz is it's very good. And every time you do Heroes, you're like, you can't go by yourself. You're like, who's going to Mertz? Who's going to Mertz? So my dude, I'm asking everybody on Saturday, who's going to Mertz? My guy's like, oh, I'm going, but. And I'm like, nah, no buts. I'm coming. I just need to sit. I just need a chair and some chicken, you know? Well, his butt was that they were doing a podcast interview with Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, darn, that's terrible.
Yeah, he happened to introduce me as this is Kyle Starks. He made the best comic of the year, which is Sex Castle in his opinion. And Matt was like, oh, great. So we didn't go to Mertz. What ended up happening is we went to a different place. So we all sort of interacted more than what was intended, right? Mm-hmm. And Matt was like, oh, I'll pick up your book. And Matt Fraction's a legitimately nice guy. And I know that he goes around and he picks up books. I know he does, but he hadn't came. And Sunday, I'm like, I'm just going to take it over to him. So I took it over to him and I gave it to him. I had a really great exchange with Fraction. And his plane didn't take off on time. So he's tweeting out, he just happened to start reading books he got. So he's tweeting out like, oh man, this book I got from so-and-so, me, is great. It's so good. Blah, blah, blah. I sold 160 books, 100 books. I don't remember. I was so stoked. And Matt emailed me the next day and he's like, hey, do you want to talk to Image? And I was like, sure.
Let me think. Planned. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Why not?
None of this was planned. I really found that I enjoyed the process of making comics and telling stories and sharing stories. Mm-hmm. So yeah, more eyes on my book, right? I already made money off of it. And that was nominated for an Eisner for Best Humor Publication. It was optioned by the Workaholics before it came out. And that basically led to me doing Rick and Morty because I did the funny book. Mm-hmm. I like to drink a bunch of soda before I do these. I don't know why I do this. I drink so many sodas and then I talk real fast and I get gassy. Anyway, so that led to Rick and Morty, which was a monthly, it's supposed to be 5 issues, which they're going to do a rotating cartoonist thing. But it ended up, 5 years, I don't remember how long it was, 45 issues, something like that. And along the way, I did Rock Candy Mountain, I've done Assassin, and now it's a whole career. It's crazy. It's awesome. But it's funny because I was talking to a peer once and they're like, oh, when did you know, you wanted to be a comic book creator? And I'm like, I guess 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when it happened, I just wanted to make comic books. What actually happened is I had a good union job and they closed the plant down. It had been open 140 years and they closed the plant down. And my wife was like, give it a shot. And it's worked out. I think I don't know. It's been a while. Time flies and losing a year has made it harder.
It has.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was never my plan. It's just I really like telling comics. I found I'm really good at it. Or in my opinion, and a few Eisner voters. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's what
yeah. So that's my story. That's my origin story. I made things. Someone found it. They hooked me up. It's kept going. I love it.
That's awesome.
You had a book that just came out last week.
Yeah. And you said it right, too, Jeremy. You were worried about it, but you said it right.
Which has got a really fascinating title. The Six Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. You see that once, you remember it because it's just stuck in there.
It's a good one.
Now, I'm already sold out of it at the shop, but Image is really good about being able to reorder. So for anybody who's on that hasn't read it yet, give them the quick, what is this book? Because it's a super fun concept to me.
Yeah, basically, the most awful man in Hollywood, like this really unlikable action star, has been found murdered, and the 6 sidekicks that he basically traumatized everybody, have sort of decided to solve the mystery of whom killed them. But of course, each one's a suspect. So it's like a bunch of we say it's Knives Out meets Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because of that sort of like not the fictional history so much, but like we really liked the idea of going through a fake TV history. You know what I mean? And Knives Out is a bunch of charming idiots trying to solve a crime.
I loved the way you introduced everyone.
Thanks, man.
With let me find the panels.
Yeah, we did like a TV guide. And then, so one side's the TV guide. Is how they got traumatized or how the show was canceled. Or thanks, man.
Have you sold this yet? Because this reads like a movie script.
Well,
or can you talk about that? I mean, I don't know.
Skybound technically owns all the rights to such things, so I was told, for what it's worth, when I was talking about another project, which I can't talk about things, but there's only one other project, guys. That there was a lot of interest in it. So
awesome.
I mean, that's like never the hope. It's pretty. There's a stuntman war. All the stuntmen hated Trigger Keaton, so when they find out someone's trying to sort of do right by him, they decide they need to go to war with these stupid sidekicks. It's real good. I mean, Chris Schweitzer is a really great cartoonist. I think he's America's best secret cartoonist. He is my best friend, so I'm biased, but I think he's really good. I know, like, there's a lot of concerns about like what's good for mainstream comics. I know even Eric Henderson got a little bit of crap, which is crazy to me. Insane to me. Anyone would be like, I don't know about this art. It's Erica Henderson. She's stellar. It's a little cartoony, but I like cartoony. That's how I work. So I think all styles have a place. And Chris does a great job with action and character and choreography. He's crazy about backgrounds. Like he's insane. He's insane about backgrounds. It's infuriating to me. Like just draw it. Let's just get it done. He's like, what if I add 3 panels? And I'm like, don't add 3 panels.
That's one of you said that you're cartoony. That's one of the things I've always really appreciated about you. So my brother picked up some books from me at a convention, I Can Kill Anything and Never So Special, right? And they were just fun. And I've followed your career since then. But your stuff is just effulgent, bubbly. It's just, I pick it up, I read it, I'm like, I feel good now.
Man,
your stuff made him go find a thesaurus.
Oh.
I read every word just to figure out the right one.
The man, it's funny you say that because, like I said, the 90s, like late 90s, is sort of when I dropped comics. It's just everything wanted to be gritty and serious, and I just like it's too much. My thing has always been I think comics should be fun. I want someone to read anything I've done, and when they get done, they go, "Well, that was fun." Like I think that's the minimum I want. I would love more. We should name my children after these kids. I don't know. But it's like the bare minimum.
I think Trigger Keaton is a great name for any kid.
Get after it. Why not? Trigger Keaton Starks.
Even Trigger Keaton, which could easily be super gritty, was just fun. I just enjoyed it. Every panel, and I put it down, and I just had a good time. Yeah,
that's what we shoot for, man. I think comics should be fun. That's not to say they should be comedies. Mm-hmm. I think there's the way to have fun that's not necessarily jokes, ha ha ha. And maybe we're working on that. Who knows? But I do think it should always be an enjoyable experience. I don't think it should be a downer or be like, well, it's just a bunch of violence for violence sake, or I don't know, man. It's like all entertainment is supposed to be enjoyable, or it's supposed to be thought provoking. And God knows I'm not thought provoking.
Somebody wants to see your shirt, Jeremy.
Oh, listen,
and Kyle too.
Oh, me or him?
Kyle first.
They want to see both your shirts. Apparently, my shirt's just boring.
I'm wearing a Frank Comics shirt. They took it off of Studio Ghibli. Frank Comics is
that's cool.
Is a little comics group in South Carolina who makes comics, and they all use the same character. It's like the characters are actors, so it's like you'll see the same female character in each comic, and they have like really great sort of high concept ideas. There's one where I'll mess it up because it's been a while, but there's one about a psychic motorcyclist, like superhero, but he actually just has an invisible friend. Like he's not psychic at all. Like that's good. they're all
That's
like
a great
that.
idea.
There's one called Dirty Cops. I think they just did Kickstarter for, which is like one of the cops is literally homeless, so like he's literally dirty. It's always stuff like this. It's very high concept, and like my stuff, it's fun. I always have good luck wearing this shirt. So like when my kids were in basketball, I'd wear this shirt and they do pretty good. So since I was on a quiz show, I thought I needed all the help I could get, so I put on my Lucky Frank comic shirt. Yeah, I'm sure they have a website. It's literally at Frank like Frank, and it's a very comfortable shirt if you're just into. It's just a nice shirt, man.
Speaking of websites, I'm going to drop yours right here.
It's me, KyleStarks.com.
Yep, KyleStarks.com. I throw it up there for anybody who didn't hear that. KyleStarks.com.
Yeah, I got my store on there, and I got my store and whatnot.
He wants to see your shirt too, Jeremy.
I'm getting some love for this shirt here. Live ugly, fake your death.
It's a good possum shirt, a good trash dumpster baby.
Yeah, got a possum on my shirt. Mine's just the life motto. There's no good story behind it. It just reminds me how to live.
You're just trying to shill for everything. If you buy something from me, it's gonna be signed, of course. I mean, if I can sign, I have like enamel pins on there. I can't sign, obviously, but yeah, any book you buy, I do still have. So I have a book called Old Head coming out in August from Image. I still have my copies up, so they'll be signed. It's basically the same book. The Image version will have back matter in it that mine doesn't. That's the only difference. I should probably take that down. Don't Image after they be like, sir, please stop trying to sell the book before it comes out. I'm like, it's not the same book. It is the same book. It's exactly the same book.
Speaking of, I think
we have a lawyer on the show here. They can help with you with the statements of it's not the same book. It is the same book. It's not the same.
I need to take it down soon, but not yet is the answer.
Right on.
So get over there now, people. That's what he's saying.
But anything you buy, in fact, like Rock Candy Mountain was my second Eisner nominated series. It's my favorite thing. It's not my Sex Castle is my favorite thing. Those are my two 1As.
Oh,
but
cool.
like Rock Candy Mountain, when we did it, I hadn't done a floppy like a monthly series before, and they're like, "Oh, we do this many, and then we take a break, right?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Sure." I should never take a break. So because of that, I sell both of those books together, $20 for 2 books on my site, and they'll both be signed with a remark.
Speaking of, you sign everything. We give stuff away. That's the nature of the show. We ask questions. You typically win prizes if you get them right, but Kyle is a magnanimous man, so we're actually giving his stuff away. So let's cut to the prize cam.
Ooh.
All right, and most of this is signed, not all of it. Some of it actually I pulled out of my own collection, and then we've got the 6 sidekicks of Trigger Keaton up here too. First prize we've got tonight is our ubiquitous Haven Comics sticker pack. Then we also have, this was in my collection, Never So Special. It's just one of his convention specials. I didn't see it on your website, so I don't think people can get this anymore.
No, I don't think that one. I don't know if I even have that one anymore. I still have the one you showed before. I still have another one. But the thing is, I don't really sell. I have so few of them. Generally, whenever I'm real late to return an order, I throw them in. That's what I use them for at this point. As apologies. They're just apology books at this point.
That's awesome.
We have All for One, which is a sketchbook that you did of My Hero Academia. I never got into that show, but all the drawings are awesome.
I'm going to say, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, like Rick and Morty and My Hero Academia, I feel are the 2 shows that are like crazy hype that 100% live up to it. I think My Hero Academia is the best superhero thing done in years.
Whoa, did you hear that?
I did do Assassination. That's me.
Yep, yeah. I love that comic. Let's move up there. Well, Travis, you can get a signed one. Assassination Nation, that is signed by Kyle Starks. And then we have Rick and Morty, Volume 10, signed by Kyle Starks. And then there's a drawing inside. And then, price cam, if you zoom in just a little bit, we have...
that's what I was wanting to see.
Right there. And it's a No You Suck pen. And then we also have... let me get it up here.
Some Rock Candy Mountains, it looks like. Some single issues.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even say anything about those.
You
I
did
got 3
totally
issues of Rock Candy Mountain. I'm sorry, Rock Candy Mountain. Don't hate. I've got issue 1 through 3 there. I just pulled those out of my personal collection.
You got to get the whole series, though, guys. Don't just stop at 3. You'll be not disappointed, but, it's a third of the story. It's less than that. It's almost half.
I got a comment here.
Nice,
Jeremy is Kyle Stark's #1 fan. I don't think so, because I never even read Sex Castle. I didn't even I've never even touched it. I'm going to now.
Kill them all. Sex Castle, kill them all. Those are the Mars Attacks. I think is a thing. Mars for people who are my fans, like Mars Attacks is probably the least read thing. I think it's the fourth best thing I've done. Dynamite's terrible at marketing things, and a lot of people are turned off by it being Mars Attacks. But
yeah,
it's just like
I just never got into Mars Attacks.
You don't need to. Fuck Mars Attacks. Who gives a shit? Can I cuss? Oh my god.
No.
I cannot cuss no more than what I just did.
You get the one.
Man, I was ill prepared. I forgot to ask in advance about the cursing because I should have said it. Mouth.
It's my fault. You're probably fine.
Here's my thing. It's just like I feel the same about Rick and Morty in many ways.
Yeah. You didn't like it, and then you got that book for years.
No, I love it. I love Rick and Morty, but it's like for Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is not the one I would say. For Old Head, like Old Head is about an ex-NBA player, but I'm not trying to sell people on the NBA. Like I'm not trying to sell someone on hoops. I'm not going to make you read a basketball game. Like that's crazy. It's just like setting. And Mars Attacks is the same way. Like we had a great
wrestling
story
books too, right?
What's that?
You've got wrestling books and everything.
My first comic was the first comic I mentioned earlier was a wrestling comic that you can only get from my store. It's called The Legend of Ricky Thunder. But yeah, it's like Mars Attacks is like, man, like the people who like Mars Attacks is a small percentage. The people who like good stories is big, and like that's the thing. We want to make something that was for everyone. If you're a diehard Mars Attacks fan, I did a comic called Dead of Winter, which is based on a board game.
That's what it said, based on the game, because that game is fun.
The game is great, and they're like, hey, do you want to do a zombie story? And I was like, and they're like, it has a dog in it. I'm like, I'm in. But it's like that thing is like you don't need to know that game to enjoy the comic. Like I want to tell a story that everyone will enjoy, but if you love Mars Attacks, you'll be like, oh, I get that reference. Or I love Dead of Winter, like I get that reference. His hair looks great, man. Is it killing you because it's getting you wild?
Yeah, it keeps doing stuff, and I went for a year and a half without a haircut. Thank you, COVID. Mm-hmm. So it was long and ponytails, and people have been making fun of me since I finally got it cut, and it's just misbehaving tonight.
It was a masterpiece.
Check out. I hard wreck for me. Sex Castle, Rock Candy Mountain, Mars Attacks. Honestly, and I'm really into Old Head. I think Karate Prom I did is great. That's still free download off. You can find it through my Twitter. See, he gets it. Yeah, check out Sex Castle. Sex Castle made my career, man, and it's still my favorite book. I think.
That's awesome.
Are the Rick and Morty comics more family friendly than
for sure? So that's a great question. So Cartoon Network is actually in charge of the comics, not Adult Swim. So they're even a lot of the language is bleeped out. So I'd say they're PG-13. It's a little toned down. When I first started, they had this list of things you couldn't do, and they were all things like if you didn't do them, it wouldn't be a Rick and Morty comic. So I started just kind of doing them to see if anyone would say anything. There's like no violence, no extreme violence was like the first thing on the list, and you're like, it's Rick and Morty. Like, you have to have the extreme violence.
They have a chainsaw dimension.
Yeah, these notes were crazy. And what's funny, so at the beginning, I kind of did whatever I wanted, and no one said anything. But by the end, Rick and Morty was so popular that they became very litigious. So then it was like I couldn't have him say like lick, lick, lick my balls. There's like catchphrases I couldn't have him say, and I'm like, they're in the show. Like, I didn't make it up. I'm using your product to sell your product. Like, nope. So it's weird. At the beginning, they had all these rules that I never listened to and no one cared. But by the end, there were all these rules. But yeah, there might be some that are like a little sexy, but that's just to say someone might mention masturbating or something. But I'd say PG-13. The show is a hard R. Like, the show is a hard R.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I want to talk to you all night long about like your work and your process and just basically
no official sponsors here.
Yeah, I know. Listen, but I'm trying to get one though, guys.
We do have a quiz show. So I also want to let everybody know these are not Kyle Stark products, but these are just some Rick and Morty books that I'm going to give away as bonuses. So those are just bonus questions that we'll do throughout the night too.
I think those might be mine.
These?
Some of them.
Got Rick and Morty Go to Hell. I got Rick and Morty, Rick's New Hat.
Oh, these are all spin-offs. Yeah, they're not mine. They're inferior product.
Why do they do that?
They're only doing that now.
It's called money.
No, so they quit doing the reason why they quit doing the main series, and I killed the universe. C-136 is dead. I blew it up. The reason why they did that is because each new volume people were buying less of because they thought they needed the prior volumes. Mm-hmm. Even though I made this comic just like the TV show, where you should be able to pick up almost any issue and be like, oh, I get it. There's a couple that are 2-parters. It's just like the show. You can watch any episode of the show and maybe 5 of them might hang you up, right? Like that's what we wanted. So I did a whole run of like one-shots. Is what it is. So now everything's a spinoff because they can sell that trade repeatedly.
I feel like that's all they do now. I feel like every single one is a one-shot.
That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. There's not going to be a main series again.
Yeah. It's not
I
the
don't
same.
think. I'll let you know, I guess.
Well, I'm excited to see if you are on it again. I'll pick up that one shot. But Jerry Baree, have you read that one?
No, who's the writer on it?
It's Thomas. I wish I didn't say that because I'm gonna trash it. It is terrible.
Yeah.
So
listen, I don't want to speak illy of my creators. Teenie Howard did a great job. Mark Ellerby always does a great job. I haven't read a couple of the new ones, but like that first round, or the first 2 rounds maybe of spinoffs, like they weren't very good. I just think like I love Rick and Morty. I love Dan Harmon. I went to San Diego Comic-Con for my first issue. There was 2 people dressed like Rick and Morty. That's not a joke. No one knew or cared about Rick and Morty until they put it on Hulu. I did a show in Tennessee. No one bought anything, and I told my wife, I was like, this might be a mistake. But I love the show. I love Dan Harmon. Yeah. I think it's brilliant. And the next show I did was Lexington Comic-Con in Kentucky, and I sold out everything I had during the pre-show.
Yeah,
because they put it on Hulu. Suddenly, it was like everyone could get it now, and everyone loved it because they could get it, right? But it's crazy, and I feel like a lot of those people who they're like, "Do you want to write this?" Or wouldn't it be funny if so and so wrote? I don't think they loved it. And I think you can tell. But again, I'm like, you know what? I am to the Rick and Morty comic series, like that one manager you had who was always like, "This place would fall apart without me." You know what I'm talking about? Like that's how I feel. Like, I know I'm wrong. I know it's not true, but it's also like that's how I feel. Like I feel
it's the one manager who knows how to keep the ice cream machine working at McDonald's.
Yeah, maybe, or the one who really thought they were more important than they are. So whatever. I love. Like I said, I think I did 45.
Yeah,
I think I did 45 issues. I love it. I love the show. I'd love to do it again. I'm also glad to take a break and not be just the Rick and Morty guy for like a minute. Yeah. Now I'm only like 3/4 the Rick and Morty guy.
It's got to define your career in a way to touch a property that big.
To do it that long, I think. But it's funny. I just did my first convention. I know we're gonna do the quiz. I just did my first convention, and it was a small.
I keep trying to go to the quiz, but I'm very
so
actually interested in all of this.
It was like a small, not a small regional show. It was a pretty decent show, but I was the only sort of professional comic creator there, and I haven't done a show in 16 months, 18 months. And literally everyone thought I was Justin Roiland, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I do these shows, and people don't know there's a comic." And they don't know who I am, why I'm, and they're like, "Oh, can you do the voice?" And I'm like, "Don't make me do the voice, man." Would you like to buy a comic there? And they're like, "Nah, we didn't come here for comics."
Well, before we let you go tonight, like after the show's over and whatnot, I want to talk to you about a show, and see about getting you here in town, coming to Huntsville next year.
Okay,
we'll get you to block out some dates in April.
Okay, we'll see. We'll talk. Okay, give me some dates. I do so many shows. That's the problem. I do.
Sure.
Well, I should do less shows, and there's a pandemic, so it's like I guess I got what I wanted.
You got the time off.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, the monkey's paw wish.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask some questions and see what's going on in this guy's head. Let's see what answers he's got.
These are multiple choice, right?
No, not a single one. And hey, if you embarrass yourself, it's just on the internet. The way this show typically works, we play for a prize, and then if you get it, you get the prize. If you don't, the audience gets the prize. But what we're going to do, you're just playing for pride, right?
Yeah, man. I don't need any prizes.
Owen Anderson is a guy that writes our questions, so I just want to give a huge shout out to him. Thank you, Owen, for writing these. Kyle, if you hate these questions, you hate Owen. So just FYI.
I don't hate you, Owen. You don't know me. We don't know each other.
Real quick, just a piece of advice, too. They are about 15 seconds behind us. So if you give the question right away, we won't have an opportunity, or you give the answer right away, we won't have an opportunity to see who won.
Oh, so you're way to play it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Dance, make it look like I don't know the answer.
Yeah, exactly. Just give us a
15 seconds, you say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just show us the work. When you don't just spit out the mathematical solution, show us how you got there.
These are all Rick and Morty questions, right?
No, some, not all of them.
Okay, good.
We played with that, but we felt like, your career is bigger than that. So.
That's right.
And you're also a human person, right?
I'm a human being with real feelings.
For the first question, you guys are going to play for our Haven Comics prize pack. That's the only non-Kyle Starks prize that you guys can win tonight. We are still a comic book store, and you can still win this and advertise for us for free. So, to win that prize pack and maybe beat Kyle Starks and have, that bragging right, what prolific voice actor provided the voice for the Martians in the film Mars Attacks?
I have no idea. So,
you really have no idea?
No, I have no idea. Should I guess? Who's the guy? Who's the? I don't know any voice actors. Frank Oz.
Is that your final?
It's my only.
Always a good choice.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Actor.
I do respect that you went for it. Yeah.
No doubt. I do.
I have an idea who it is, but I can't think of their name. Is it the guy who used to do? He's an actor, but he also does like some of the Simpsons characters. But now he does like that TV. He's a baseball announcer.
Are you thinking of Hank Azaria?
Yeah, Hank Azaria. He's good.
It is not Hank Azaria. He is very good.
I honestly don't know. I just want to say, for what it's worth, is that if I may interject, so Mars Attacks, the comic book, is based on the playing cards, not the movie. And my little story is I wrote this script for Mars Attacks. Someone beat me. Congratulations to whomever actually knows who did these aliens. And I turned my script in. They're like, they can't say ack ack ack. And I'm like, they can't say ack ack ack. And they're like, no, Tim Burton owns ack ack ack. That's not what we're doing here. And I'm like, fair enough.
Tim Burton.
So how would I know the movie?
Ack ack ack.
Yeah, that's a Tim Burton thing. Ack 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 is his.
Wow. I feel like we're going to get a cease and desist any minute now. Ack ack ack.
I didn't see one until it looks like Peter. Josh, do you see that too?
That's the first one I saw that was the correct answer.
Right.
What's the answer? Frank
Welker.
I don't know who that is.
Frank Welker. He did Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey as the Stations. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I love Station.
He was the evil Gremlins in Gremlins. He was Nibbler in Futurama. I don't know. These aren't really selling me.
Look, this guy's nerd cred's going back up, and mine's going down.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm okay.
And Peter,
but he was on G.I. Joe, Transformers. I mean, he's done every cartoon under the sun.
I didn't know.
Was he an inaudible monster in G.I. Joe or Transformers?
I let everybody down.
Hey, just yourself.
Hey, get the comic from Mars Attacks, though. It's really good. Dynamite. It's great. Me and Chris Schweitzer did it together.
I also see in the images of characters that he has voiced Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which is awesome.
Do you see anything a normal person would know?
Scooby-Doo.
Gremlins?
Most people know Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, he was in Scooby-Doo. Was he Scooby-Doo?
He's the jock guy with the blonde hair.
There's Abu the monkey from Aladdin.
Come on.
I see Iceman from the X-Men cartoon.
I'll give you that. That's a real character.
They should have got Frank Oz.
They should have.
I see, what's his name? The idiot guy from Scooby-Doo, as well as the dog Scooby-Doo.
Was he all this?
No, Shaggy was Fred. Kingston, right? And then it was, what's his name from Scream?
Fred is
he was the voice of Fred, apparently, not of.
Man, listen, everyone here, including the people in the comments, could voice Fred. There's no talent to that.
Agreed. He was the voice of the bad guy in Inspector Gadget. I'll get you, Gadget.
So that maybe took a modicum of skill. I bet that was his real voice, though.
It's bad for your throat, you know. I'll get you, Gadget. After a while, that's going to wear on you.
Well, the character barely appeared in the show, so.
Well, yeah. Oh, thank God, because
easy money, really.
Now there's a comic book you could write, Inspector
Gadget,
because he's a total buffoon, and Penny and the dog are the ones that actually figure everything out and solve all the crimes.
Get out! I don't know who owns Inspector Gadget. I would consider that. They had that cool book. Remember, Penny had that book was so cool. I'd have to figure out the pathos. Awesome. Yeah, I'd have to figure out the real pathos of Inspector Gadget, though.
Did you say
might not
pathos?
Be any. Yeah.
I am going to look that word up real quick.
Well, while you do that, let's move on to question number 2. What's our prize for question 2, Jeremy?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, because you're guaranteed to get it. Whoever's...
No, you suck.
All right, so that's a custom. Is that an enamel pen?
Yeah, so that's a nice enamel pen. It's like an inch and a half, 2 inches wide. It's nice.
Yeah.
That's
just let
great looking pin. Yeah.
Thanks.
Let everyone know how you feel. All you gotta do is win this prize. Answer this question.
Jesus, I just have to not humiliate myself.
Be the person to answer this question correctly. So, in Rick and Morty, what late singer-songwriter's music does Summer and Morty use to coerce Tiny Rick to return his consciousness to his old body?
Oh, it's Elliott Smith.
Ding, ding, ding. Whoop,
I nailed it. I know Elliott Smith, baby. I saw him 3 times.
Oh.
Needle in the Hay, right? Is it Needle in the Hay? I can't remember what song it is. I think it's Needle in the Hay. I think I'm wrong.
Between the bars.
Between the bars. There we go. Yeah, that's a good one. I love Elliott Smith. It makes me cry too.
So we've got a right answer.
Oh, I didn't take 15 seconds. I'll tell you why. I didn't nurse that one because I love Elliott Smith. I saw him 3 times. As an Elliott, like I said, I love Rick and Morty. Like, think about how you could make me love Rick and Morty more. Put Elliott Smith in it, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, we have a right answer. If you gave him the answer, whatever.
I got really excited. I'll try to play it out. I'll try to play it out next time.
The first right answer we have in the comments appears to be Jeffrey Middleton.
Did he spell it correctly? 2 L's, 2 T's? No. He spelled it wrong. He's out.
In all fairness, nobody spelled it correctly.
Yeah. All right. I did. The first one was such a humiliation to me. I was so excited.
I could hear both T's in your pronunciation.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Oh man, I had the best shirt. It was all is the letters all jumbled up. So no one knew what it was for. That's how big of a fan I was. I didn't even need to show. It didn't even need to say the name. It's like I bought this at a concert. You don't know what this is. I know what it is.
Wonderful.
He was so high when I saw him. He was incredibly high. Neither here nor there. He killed himself. He stabbed himself in the heart.
What?
Nice. Yeah, apparently stabbing yourself in the heart is a fairly common way to commit suicide.
That is the single most brutal thing I've ever heard, and to hear that it's common, changes my worldview.
Yeah.
Your worldview was already pretty dark, so that's scary.
Right?
I love Elliott Smith so much. His songs are if you've only ever heard Between the Bars in a few seconds on Rick and Morty, it's a pretty sad song. His songs are all really sad, and when he died, he committed suicide. People called me. This was very much basically pre-internet when people would call you, right? And they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "It's not a surprise, man. I like his music a lot.
Yeah.
Like I listen to his music. I'm not. This wasn't a shocking development, unfortunately."
Okay, so real quick, talking about my worldview. So Emily Dickinson, she put her head in the oven, right? The whole time I was growing up, no one explained to me that she gave herself carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
So the whole time
you thought she was like trying to melt herself?
Yes.
You thought she just had the oven at 350 for an hour?
Yes.
It probably
didn't
feel great.
I imagine it didn't, but I thought she was the most metal person who's ever existed. I mean, the way she did it still it's never cool, but I thought she just burned her head until she died.
Just held herself. Herself in there.
I can do it.
I'm out. No matter what, I'm out.
I'm out. Oh man. Hey, you guys want to give away a? I just wrote it down. Yeah, I just went way down. You guys want to give away a bonus?
Let's do it.
I don't even want to give Jerry Barria away, honestly. All right. Deathstalkers, Rick and Morty. This is Deathstalkers number 1. Joke's on you guys. Every Rick and Morty moving forward is a Rick and Morty number 1. So now the numbered ones are the high value ones. So who wants to win Rick and Morty Deathstalkers? To win this, what is Jerry Smith's college degree in? What's it in? What is his college degree? He's an advertiser.
Can I say?
What's his college degree? You can give him 30 seconds.
Tell him things that his degree is not.
It's not in philosophy. I'll tell you, it's not anything smart. Or useful. That's for sure.
Is it in psychology?
Nope. Is it in accounting? Nope. Is it in sculpture? Nope.
Sorry,
nope.
Zach.
It's not psychology. It's not
sorry,
sales.
Travis. It's definitely not in marketing.
Marketing is a good guess though, because he is in marketing. Yeah.
This would be funny if he went to school to be a dentist.
No. If he was a dentist, his relationship with his wife would be completely different because they would be equals in many ways. They'd both be doctors.
Yeah.
Can I say?
On fine art. Yeah, I think you can say.
He has a degree in civics.
Right on. Nailed it.
And you learned that from the Morty Has a Baby episode. Don't punish us all because you got a degree in civics, Jerry. Good line. And then he does
episode.
He does an ICP joke, and they're like, "Leave the '90s." There you go. Zach got it.
I think you might have given it to Zach, but who cares? Zach, you got this Rick and Morty comic. Now you can enter into the fine world of Rick and Morty comic books.
Who wrote that one?
Did Justin Lynch get it? Hold on.
Oh, JT says he had it.
Justin always says he has it.
I think this might have been his answer.
I think
that's what. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what his answer was.
All because you do something professionally doesn't mean that you went through a higher education to get it.
Yeah. Oh man. No.
Yeah, that just might be a skill he was born with.
Yep. This Rick and Morty Deathstalkers, which is brand new. This goes to Zach Bringman.
He wanted to know who wrote it.
Wait, who wrote it?
Yeah.
So that's what Kyle was asking.
Phillips. What's his dude's name? Stephanie Phillips. So.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that dude.
Yep.
Everyone's a dude.
Hey, ladies can be dudes. I got no.
That's not judgment. Specific. I'm not sure how that became gender specific. It is not. It means somebody from the city.
Not to me.
Yeah.
Does it?
That's where it started.
You never heard of a dude ranch? That's a ranch for city folk to come out and say, "Oh, I had the Western experience."
Yeah, and then the surf culture took it as sort of like someone who's not one of us, and it just became like man. It just became like a salutation.
There's so much I didn't know. I'm learning so much tonight. Like Elliott Smith, I didn't know who that was.
Man, I love Elliott Smith. I'm older and happy now, but I still turn on Elliott Smith every now and then and I go, "That guy's good," because he was real good. Not live, not when I saw him. Yeah, traditionally meant someone from the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know where's the quiz me on that one? Colloquialisms. I don't.
Now that we could talk about all day. Yeah.
All right, that's two. Sorry. 2 for 3. He's a champion, folks.
You're doing all right.
66% accurate.
Where's that put us? I think that puts us at question 3. So
we did actually. Yeah, we did 2 in a bonus.
That was a bonus.
We're going back to question 3. The bonus one was an alternate dimension. So that was just a bonus. Okay, question 3. We don't need to cut to the prize cam. It's you're playing for the 6 sidekicks of Trigger Keaton.
Number 1.
Wait, hold on. Oh, no, the prize cam corrected me. We're actually playing for this sick PDF. Turns out I'm wrong. I'm often wrong. Stabtober by Carl Starks. Inktober is a tradition amongst artists. Kyle, I'll let you take it from there.
It is, and I never have time for it. But what I do have time for, when I started Twitter, this little ghost man, Stabby, was my avatar. And before I was a famous comic book man, there he is. Before I was a famous comic book man, he was my avatar. And I used to do like little things, like little bits on Halloween. There you go. I did like he's like I used to do little bits. Like he'd go on little adventures. Sometimes I did animated things because I was crazy. I don't have time anymore. So this year I was like, I love Stabby. I wanted to participate in Inktober because I hadn't drawn for a while because of the pandemic. And so I think I asked my Twitter people just to give me words, and I did 30 days of Stabby, and there's a soft narrative to it that I think's fun. It's a PDF.
That's the kind of thing Jeremy likes to do, but he likes to do it with Ghost Rider. Like Ghost Rider driving his van to the grocery store, so his van's got flaming wheels, and he's going through the grocery store, and his car has flaming wheels. Yeah, and he's in the frozen food department, and he's melting stuff.
This is all great.
He did a sketch cover for somebody, and then on the back of the sketch cover, which was my favorite bit, it was like Old Man Logan or Old Man Quill or whatever old man thing they're doing now. And on the back of it, he did Old Man Ghost Rider. So it was just Ghost Rider sitting in a wheelchair with a blanket over his legs, and the wheels of the wheelchair were on fire. It was hilarious.
I thought you were going to go Walker. I thought you were going to go Walker with the little wheels on the front, the feeble. Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
If you go to Josh's house regularly, right now he doesn't have a kitchen, but if you regularly go there, my work is on his fridge. That's where I display. That's my gallery. It's just he's got magnets and just a bunch of it.
It's awesome. So it's good to have a home for your art.
Oh man. What?
No, we don't need that.
Not today. Not today.
Like a little floaty? That's right, little bits. Little bits is great, sure.
Oh man. Okay, so moving on to question 3. We were playing for that PDF so you can see all those sick drawings. I think they look great. There's a lot more energy and love and detail in those than I ever put into.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Stuff.
Mine?
The One True Zachary asks if I am Josh's son. No, don't ask that. That was wrong. Okay, question 3. In the classic creepy children's film, The Secret of NIMH, what does the acronym NIMH stand for?
Can I tell you something? I love the book, and I don't think it stands for anything in the book. I'm not going to know this. I have no idea.
Great. The book was great. The movie was great.
Man, I haven't seen that. I remember checking out The Rats of NIMH from my elementary school library. Not in my house.
Oh man. Okay.
I have no idea. How exciting! I'm going to learn something new. I'm also going to only 50% accurate.
Can you guess? You're going to lose anyway. Why not?
I said not in my house.
Oh, not in my house?
That's my guess.
That's a good guess. That's actually right.
Is it?
No, not even close.
No, it's not.
Close.
The Rats of NIMH were like scientists, basically, if memory serves, right? Like they were a secret society of intelligent. Is this like a Zardoz thing? I don't think it is, right? It's not like a Zardoz thing.
No, I don't think so.
NIMH.
Josh, I see a couple.
First one I saw was Jeffrey Middleton.
He's killing it tonight. The
National Institute of Mental Health. That's can't be right.
They were experimented on at the National Institute of Mental Health to increase their intelligence, prolong their lives, and decrease their aging.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, I remember checking out the book. I was in the 5th grade. How old was I then? 11. I have a kid who's 11 right now. I'm a moron. So you can't judge me. I do. That's one of my favorite anime movies, but I haven't seen it in. I bet I haven't seen that movie in 20 years.
Hey, you watch stuff as a kid, you don't pick up all of the little nuances. I bet if you watched it now, you'd hate it, and you just regret it.
Would I like The Crow more or less now as a
right? It's one or the other. You love the shiny things.
I think I'd like it more because every time now is a 40. Like since I last saw it and now today, my only sort of reference to that crow is like that one Death Cab for Cutie album where it has the crow with the yarn on it. I don't remember which one that is, but that's it. I like that album. I think.
Ooh, now that would be that's an interesting question there, Mike. Is that where Pinky and the Brain came from? Were they from the same place as the Rats of NIMH?
Not in my house.
Interconnected world, maybe. I don't know.
Oh
man, a younger version of me would be very annoyed. I don't know if I ever paid attention to that. I mean, it makes sense. That's a good one. What information today?
You're learning a lot. It's a win-win. Okay,
I think I'm supposed to know things.
Owen excels
feel
at
like
this. We always learn things on this show.
Right,
Just
good,
don't ask
good.
how many moons are around Saturn.
Does Owen think that I'm a fan of rats? Like I love
does. I
cartoons.
think that's
Oh, it's
what
because
it
I did a
means.
cartoon. I must know other cartoon. I didn't do the cartoon. I wrote a comic book.
Geez, Owen.
Owen, why
Yeah.
the rat thing?
What does it mean? Okay.
What are you trying to say about me?
Owen's a monster. Okay.
Oh, now I want to watch it though, really bad. What's it on? Is it streaming? It's not, right?
I don't know. It's got to be somewhere.
It's a
Somebody-
Bluth movie though, right? Isn't that a Bluth?
Somebody
Yeah.
figure that out for us.
Yeah, it's
Let us
Don
know.
Bluth.
Where can we see?
I don't. This stuff's tough to find. I think.
Okay.
Next
Question
question.
Yeah,
four.
somebody figure out where that is and post it in the comments because I think we all want to watch that now.
Yeah, now I wanna
Jeremy's
watch it.
probably never seen it though.
I haven't. I also never seen The Crow. Moving
The Crow's
on.
name is Jeremy, right? Isn't the name of the Crow in Secrets of Them Jeremy?
I
Why do
believe
you
it
guys ask me
is.
answer the questions I know? Mrs. Rigby?
Wait, hold on. You were talking about the Wrath of Nim still? I thought you were talking about The Crow,
No, we're
Bruce
talking
Lee's-
about the Secret of Nim. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a crow.
there's a crow in the
named
movie.
Jeremy.
When you said "Does the Crow hold up?" I thought we'd moved on to a whole other movie.
Oh,
See,
no,
that's what
I-
happens when I.
I have a suspicion with Secrets of Nim as a child versus adult, like that crow is very Jar Jar Binks. Like either you hate him or you're like, oh no, I love him.
He's
I bet there's no in
goofy.
between.
I tend to agree,
Yeah.
and I'm
I gotta
curious
find
to
out,
find
so
out
I'm gonna
now
find out
where I
tonight.
would fall on that.
I think I'd like him still because I don't mind a little annoying guy. Yeah, You think
I don't
we're the
either.
same
That's
age
why
level?
Jeremy hosts the show with me.
Yeah, we like totally different stuff. Like I like art and culture, and he likes. Anyway, so for question 4, we're gonna play for your new comic, 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton. Eventually,
good.
I'm getting it right now.
Now
So-
remember, when you win this, you want to go back to Haven Comics and make sure they put number 2 and number 3 on hold for you also immediately.
Yeah.
Correct.
So there are only 3 of them, or is this ongoing?
No, there's gonna be 6 of them, but you can only order so many at a time.
Oh, cool. Josh,
That's how
just put it on
comics
my
work.
pull list. Yeah.
Put it on
Yeah.
your pool. Put it on your pool list.
Yep. Anybody who wants it, we've already had a couple of people ask for it, so we'll make sure
they
that
got to
those
reorder. They're
folks
sold
get it.
out.
That's correct. I do, because we are sold out.
I don't
So-
believe the run is sold out, so I think you can still get it pretty easy. If it is, they have.
Yeah, Image is usually pretty good about that.
I'll be real
Avoid
excited.
the hassle. Avoid having to reorder it. Just win it right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Question 4, Josh.
All right. So think back a little bit. One of the scariest things I saw as a young kid, based on a book by Ray Bradbury, in Something Wicked This Way Comes, there is an object that affects a person's age. What is that object?
I don't even know what this is. Is it a movie?
It was a book by
Oh,
Ray Bradbury, but then they made a movie.
I don't remember
Oddly,
the movie.
Disney made the movie.
Mm.
Disney made the movie, but it's not. It was in that weird time period when they were doing things like Watcher in the Woods, where it's just super scary.
How many people
for
have answered this?
little
correctly
kid,
already?
anyway.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Let's
No
see
one.
what Ray
I don't
Bradbury-
see. I don't see any
Okay.
correct answers yet.
Like if you guys would have been like, "What is Ray Bradbury's The Veldt about?" I'd be like, "Oh, let's go." I know that one.
We're not getting any right
Yeah.
answers, so that means
I don't see
somebody's
any correct
taking the
answers
time to
yet.
Google
Something
it.
wicked this way comes,
Uh-huh.
and it's something
Yeah.
that makes you old. It's
There is
presumably
a
not
there is a
beach.
carnival. There
M.
is a
Night Shyamalan.
carnival,
Oh, this sounds vaguely
and
familiar.
so there's something in the carnival.
Guys, when you Google, you
I
don't
don't-
have to type out the whole sentence. You just type something
look at
wicked
this.
this way comes age.
I'm not googling nothing. You think I was the smartest guy in the world? This sounds familiar. It sounds familiar. Ray Bradbury. I kind of don't like Asimov or Bradbury. This might be a bad take. It's
I
very
hate to
dry.
say that, but I feel the same way.
It's a very dry science fiction, in my opinion. It's not dunk tank. It's going to
Jeffrey,
be
that's-
You
like.
guys are killing me here. I want a correct answer. I want to give this away, and y'all are
I
killing
feel like
me.
I know what it is. It's not like a Hall of Mirrors. It's like
Nope.
it's like one of those guess your weight booths, but it's not guess your weight.
Ferris wheel's pretty close.
It's not a Ferris wheel. It's not a Ferris wheel.
We're zeroing in, though.
Is it a merry-go-round?
It's a carousel. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I remember. That's right. I know you were giving. I know you were hinting.
Yeah.
I remember that. But you know why? Because that's creepy.
It is, right?
That's
you go around on this thing and you just get older as you go. It was horrifying.
That is pretty horrifying. Somebody just needs to say it now. Who was the first person that said it?
As the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when the guy chose poorly and he aged really fast.
I call that the Shaggy Dog.
It was the exact same special effects.
Yeah, it's like the Shaggy Dog or Old Werewolf.
Was Travis the first
Shaggy
to get
Dog.
it?
Quick movie.
But that movie creeps me out.
Yeah, looks to be.
Okay, perfect. Travis, congratulations.
Well, I guess Zach Brinkman beat him, but just didn't use the name. Not the Ferris wheel, the other one with the horses that go around.
Yeah. Give them both a copy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I got 2 copies.
Hey!
I do. Let's do it. All right, Zach, you want a copy? Travis, you want a copy?
Man.
2 copies.
We got any NBA questions in here? We got a
probably not.
Right? Right now.
No. All right, you can take a break because next one's not for you. We have a special question that is just for the audience every week.
Oh.
Every week, we do a question just for the audience. It is our Canadian bonus question to honor our brothers in the North. To win this, all you have to do is answer this question, but you get $25 to Haven Comics, which we universally everybody decided, is the best comic book store in every dimension in the entire multiverse. I mean,
it's the best comic book store on Slaughter Road in every dimension.
That's like $20 in Canadian money, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like 40.
I don't know which way it goes anymore.
It goes, I don't know either. All right. What household name Canadian actor got his big screen debut playing a small role in the film Donnie Darko?
Oh.
This dude is a household name.
I know this.
While they try to figure that out, did you like Donnie Darko?
I think it's okay. I think maybe I was a little too old. I think the people who are younger than me by a few years liked it a lot more than I did. And that's fine. I think
might be the same reason I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I think there's some really great visuals in it. There's a little bit of nonsense in it, like a little bit of non sequitur storytelling, and I never loved that. It's not my scene. But there's some things that always seems like they're really generational, and sometimes that's more like not like 10 years. It's like this 5-year window. Music, there's a lot of music like that for sure. Because my wife is like 4 years younger than me, and there's things that she loves. I was like, that's a joke, man. No one liked that. No one cool like that.
My wife is 4 years younger than me, and she'll say something like we'll talk about, tell me if you had the same experience. I'll be like, yeah, this happened. And she was like, I was in grade school. And it's like, you know what I mean?
No.
Does that pop up for you?
I mean, I'm considerably older than you.
How do you think I feel whenever
adults.
you talk about something?
What'd you say, Josh?
That's how he feels whenever you talk.
I feel every time I talk about something and you're like, I wasn't even born yet.
You know what I feel like the weirdest like gap is whenever I'm like, hey, do you remember to my wife, I'm like, you remember the gummy bears, right? Do you guys remember the gummy bears, Josh?
I remember the gummy bears.
And my wife's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like,
they're in every way.
I'm like, you know the gummy bears?
That's beyond.
I'm not Canadian. I'm a Hoosier, so I'm one state away. I'd love to be in Canada though. I love Canada.
Hey man, nobody's perfect. You're from Indiana?
I live my entire life in Indiana.
You live in the same city as my brother.
Southern Indiana?
Yeah, Evansville.
Well, I wasn't going to say it out loud. Now I have people at my door stalking.
Real quick, let's
my bad.
acknowledge that we had a correct answer and we have a winner.
Is that Seth Rogen?
It is. It is Seth Rogen.
Is it Seth Rogen?
Fun fact, his first line in the movie was, I like your boobs, which incidentally is his first line ever.
I just figured Jake Gyllenhaal was Canadian for the sake of the question.
He seems
anywhere.
He seems Canadian.
He seems Canadian.
I don't know if he is.
That's funny.
So Kim,
He seems Canadian.
$25. Kim wins all the time. She's buying the store out brick by brick.
That just means that she has to come by the store and bring her dog.
Kyle, I'm sorry I ousted you.
I'm sorry I laughed because I thought that was the most ridiculous answer I've ever seen. I would say like Secrets of NIMH, where I now feel compelled to watch it. I'd be like, oh, I gotta watch Donnie Darko. To see Seth Rogen. Guys, I just watched 40-Year-Old Virgin. I got my Seth Rogen. We're good. We're good. I don't need to watch Donnie Darko again. Kelly Clarkson.
All right.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson. Ah.
Question 6, we are going to play for Never So Special. This has been in my collection. I love it, and I thought it's time for somebody else to love it. So I'm handing this off. All you got to do is answer question 6.
I believe Never So Special has the collection of Secret Agent Toddler in a Man's Body in it. Am I correct when I say that?
Yeah, I think it does.
It also has a nice Parable comic I did.
The Parable comic is my favorite thing ever.
Thanks, man.
It's great. I don't want to ruin it.
There's a WCW comic in there, I think. Where it's about the robot apocalypse.
I get mixed up between these two because I
can't either. They're both from a long time ago. That has my Wild Dog fan comic and my Frankenstein fan comic in it.
And Punch Captain.
Oh yeah, Punch Captain's very
honestly
popular.
I live my life by Punch Captain's rules. So
just punch. When in doubt, punch. Punch like a gentleman.
Josh, question 6.
Question 6. Think this one through because you're probably going to just go boom and throw the answer out, and then that'll ruin everything.
All right.
What is the name of the monkey on Space Ghost?
What is the name of the monkey on Space Ghost?
Mm-hmm.
I love monkeys, and I generally like Space Ghost. I did a signing next to the voice of Space Ghost once. What's his name?
Space Ghost.
Nobody knows.
He was just at the Huntsville Comic Con 2 years ago.
Somebody knows. Justin,
he's great.
What's the answer to that? Justin knows.
I'm gonna tell you. I don't think I know the answer to this. I feel like it's like Phantom or it's something spirity or ghosty. But man, it's been a long time.
All right, we will make this one.
I'm gonna say it's Dr. Phantom Bananas.
Hang on, we're gonna make it multiple choice for you out of the answers we've received thus far, because one of them is the correct answer. So is it Boo Boo or Gleek?
It's not Boo Boo.
Or
no,
Mango?
Gleek is from the Herculoids. No, it's not. That's a fruit. It's none of those. No, it's none of those. Hang on, let me get back up here because things have gone off the chart here. Is it Bongo? No.
Chim
That's
Chim?
From The Simpsons. Chim Chim is from Speed Racer. It's Blip, right? If these are my choices, it's Blip. It's not Phantom.
Yep,
it's not Dr. Phantom Bananas. What's up?
Hey, wheelchair superhero. Glad you could join us tonight, sir.
Boy, I'm terrible.
Yes, it is Blip. Jackal and Cook.
Yeah, good job,
first one to get the right answer.
Fun dog.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he's a cutie. She, I think, actually. Yes.
All right. So
awesome. Congratulations, Jacqueline.
6
well
now.
done.
Not great.
Hey, but every single time you lose, the audience gets it right. They like you more. So that can't hurt.
Oh, and calm down. I now know the problem. Are doing cocaine? Are these cocaine-fueled questions?
Oh, and what are you on? Let us know. Oh, man. All right, so.
Plead the fifth, Owen. Plead the fifth. We have a lawyer here. We have a lawyer in the house.
Our next question is question 7. I do have to let you know right up front, it is our real estate question of the night.
I'm really digging
a shameless plug
on these.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I got more. Yeah,
it's no Elliott Smith.
I got to shill. I got to shill my how I eat. But other than that, moving on. It is a place. You are thinking about a place. Audience, it's a place. Okay, so
physical location.
Yes.
They lived in the bush outside the house.
In this circumstance, it's real.
Correct.
It's a real place.
Yeah.
You are playing for this sick sketchbook. All for one. It is My Hero Academia.
I drew a little. What's his face there in the cover? Oh, I love My Hero Academia. It's great.
You're gonna have to tell me who that is because I don't know.
I'm blanking on his name because I'm on a quiz show, so why should I know anything? It's the main.
Is it All Might's alter ego?
It's All Might. Yeah, it's All Might. Yeah.
So you can win a cool sketchbook with a legitimate hand-drawn remark from Kyle Stark.
This was my New York Comic Con sketchbook too. I did it just for the last New York Comic Con, and I sold the original paintings, and I had a lot of fun. And I haven't had to watch My Hero Academia since then. I love My Hero Academia. I think it's great. I recommend it to both of you guys. I really do. I really recommend it. If you like friendship,
got it out of the way.
If you like friendship, and you like superheroes, and you like awesome superhero moments, that's your show, baby. It's good.
Josh does not like anime. And he does not like Rick and Morty. And he does not like friendship. And he does not like, being right about things. So, all right, question 7.
I'm late to being.
You're wrong about 2 of those 4.
What'd you say, Kyle?
I'm really interested in how other places tell stories because they're all different. Anime is like the best version of that because like the structures are completely different. What people are interested in pulling from those structures is different. So I'm really interested in consuming these medias. So like if there's something, especially like I did all these shows, like these weird like anime shows on accident, and everyone's dressed up like the same people. I'm like, I just like, who are you? And like, oh, we're My Hero Academia. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch it then. Like everyone likes it, right? I'm gonna watch it. If everyone likes it, there has to be something. This is not always true, but that show's great. So now it's like I try to watch shows, and I watched them until I tried to watch Hunter by Hunter. I had to. I only got like 5 seasons in. I was like, I gotta cash out. There's sexy ants now. I'm out.
Sexy ants.
That shows a roller coaster. It's wild. But like I want like Chainsaw Man. I want to check out. There's like Pluto, which was a book series by Naoki Urasawa. He's one of the masters of comic book creating. Pluto is one of the best 6-volume books. Monster 21st Century. He's brilliant. So it's like if you didn't try this stuff, you'd be missing out on some like really great stories, right? Like you never saw Akira. You've seen Akira though, right? Everyone's seen Akira.
No, he hasn't. We trash me every week about the junk I haven't seen.
Do you have Akira in the store? The books?
Probably, we have had, yeah.
Dude, just look at, like,
we don't now, but we have.
Well, if you ever just look at him, man. Like that guy is on a different level. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to. I talk a lot.
Yeah, no, I just to say this, I recognize that anime is art, and just like any art, not all art is for everyone. It's just not for me. It's not my style.
Like, the thing is, like, you understand, like, it's like television. Like, there's all different versions. It's not just the same thing over and over. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Not all of it's for me. There's a lot of shows that's just about trying to kiss for like 3 years. Look, not for me, right? But like cool superhero stuff.
Get to it.
Real quick, I gotta address something else that popped up in the comments too. Oh, and don't make them harder. They're very well balanced. Sometimes
he's doing great. I just like maybe next time focus directly on things that I like specifically, which is nothing. So it's impossible.
Shoot him the answers beforehand too.
Yeah. Give me just next time I want some genres.
Josh is gonna rip all my pictures off his fridge. It's all right.
Nah, he loves them.
I'll be honest with you. That is also not my style. Just to be frank, that is also not my style of art.
I'm going to go put an upside down urinal in the shop's bathroom, and we're going to see how that goes. Okay.
You have to sign it. You have to sign it in mud for it to be art, though.
Oh man! Question number 7. True. Did we say we're going to win? Yeah, My Hero Academia. That's what we're talking about. What population of only with a population of only 14 in the first film? What is the ironic name of the remote Nevada town in the Tremors movies?
Oh my gosh.
15 seconds.
Dude, I'm telling you, you guys are just screwing me. And Tremors is my favorite. I have a hat. Hold on.
You make Tremors art.
No, I know. And I can't think of the second part of it though.
Do you know the first part?
Yeah, it's Paradise something. God damn. This is the thing about quiz show, man. Is like the thing when you're put on.
Spot, yeah.
I know. The thing is like it's perfection. The thing is like man, I don't know much before. Put me on the. I don't know anything. I was seriously like I was like, man, what if they asked me who won NBA MVP this year? I'm like, oh no, it's joking. But I was like, what if they asked me who won it last year? And I was like, oh, it's Giannis. Listen, I'm telling you, like it's all. It's perfection. Tremors is the book that me and Erica Henderson of Squirrel Girl fame have said for years. We would drop everything to do that comic book. Whatever we were doing, we'd stop. Let us do like a 50-issue Tremors comic. Let me do a 32-issue run Tremors comic. I would know the name of the town for certain then. The guy who owns Wong's dry goods store. Come on, Val and Earl.
Hey, you don't.
I'd like to see
the state, right?
32 connecting covers that all feature the giant one.
That would be great.
Which is like one.
Just one part. Nothing else in them. Just
the thing is like issue 3 through like 31.
32 connected covers.
Yeah. They look the same.
Okay. So hold on. You don't know the state, but what states could it be?
Oh, it's Arizona. It's Perfection, Arizona, right? Is that right?
Oh, it's Nevada. But I'm going to give it to everybody for perfection. I think that's fair.
No, don't give it to me.
Get in Nevada? Hold on.
The first person I saw with the right answer was Jacqueline Cook. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I see perfection from Jacqueline Cook.
No joke. If someone asked me this before I got on, I'd be able to tell you. I celebrate the entire Tremors catalog, all 4 movies and TV series. It's unfortunate they quit making them.
That's the way that this stuff works.
It's too bad they quit making them after 4.
I've seen the first 2. That's all I've seen.
Oh, the next 2 are good too, but you could stop there because that's when they stopped making them. They never made more. It's just like I feel the same way about Tremors as I feel about the TV show Lost. It's unfortunate they only did 2 seasons of it.
Yeah.
If only they would have done more. Nope, only 2. That's all they made.
I just rewatched Lost not too long ago, and
just the first 2 seasons.
I watched all of the seasons, the first 2 that they made, and all the fan-made ones after that.
Sure, okay.
And I think they got themselves into some storytelling corners, and I think that part of the story, it's better now if you watch it because it's not polluted by all of the augmented reality stuff and them trying to obfuscate what the real things are like they were doing at the time. Bits of it are weaker, but there are some moments in those final couple of seasons that are just
the whole
incredible story.
The whole Tremor series is fun. It's real fun. Yeah, here's the thing with Lost. I know we're doing other stuff. Here's the thing with Lost is that I don't think they were ready for the internet trying to figure out what was going on. Because that was, if you remember, that was the first show where people were really like. And the thing is, I remember, and I thought it was the dumbest possible outcome. Was people were like, oh, they're in this one, they're in not heaven, they're in the middle.
They're in purgatory.
Purgatory. See, I'm so dumb. Someone guessed they're in purgatory. And I think the showrunners, this is season 2, by the way, and you can tell.
Yes.
The guys writing go, they got it. Like, no, change it up. So they just started doing like a bunch of like this is probably season 3 because the Echo season 3, right? It's been a while.
I think Echo is season 2.
Okay.
I love
Echo
Mr.
the point.
I thought he was brilliant.
Echo was the point where you go, there's maybe a religious thing going on here. Like there's maybe a real afterlife thing. And you can tell they were like, switch it up. And then when they got to the end, they're like, how do we close this? And someone's like, well, the best idea is the first idea. Like I have no doubts. I have 0 doubts that's how that show went. And you can tell because once
I don't disagree with you, but
you can tell.
But it has that mirror structure of the first 3 that have the flashbacks, and then the second 3 seasons the next 3 seasons have the flash forwards. There's a lot of mirror storytelling structure and things that are really cool. I would get rid of all the baggage of all the crap you knew at the time of what was going on and the guessing and the obfuscation from the producers and all that stuff, and just give it another shot if you're bored and have nothing else to do. It's a different experience, and it's really good.
They had said, like, we have plans for the show to go 11 seasons and ended on 6, 5?
6.
How many
after 6 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, so they had plans to do 5 more seasons. They had plans for it. The thing with Walt's kid, I mean, I could do this all day. Walt's kid, they just wrote him off the show. Like, he had a function
Walt
in the
disappeared.
Show that they decided no longer mattered. that's because they changed the story. Like they changed the idea.
I agree with that. Yeah. There were definitely some loose ends that they did like that.
I will say it's funny that you bring this up because I do love Lost, and I thought that the whole thing is like here's some interesting characters and interesting things are happening, but the bigger question is like what's going on here? What's going on in this place? To me, once they hired Brian K. Vaughan, who I think is one of the most brilliant guys in comics, the show is that's when the show got weird. And that's not him. He was a show writer. He wasn't like the showrunner. He was just contributing. But that was the point where I feel like they were like, we need ideas. I'm doing a horror series right now, and I'm very much trying to do that. What's happening here? It's like scary things are happening, but it's like if you put normal people in this weird, sort of bizarre setting, that's really the elements that I was interested in. I'm hoping to do multiple arcs, but this first arc is like, why is this happening? What's going on? Like that's what I'm really hoping I was able to capture some small part of that lost magic, because I think that was really what was compelling about it. I really want people to be like, what's happening here? What's going on? I want to know what's going to happen. Anyway, so it's weird because like it's literally what I'm working on right now.
Very cool.
A horror series.
Horror.
Spookies.
All right.
Can you tell us who's going to be publishing that?
I'm Skybound.
I gotta ask you, how does Skybound work? Because Image is its own thing, and then Skybound's just like a subset. What's the word for it?
I can't remember. Someone said it was like a boutique. It's like a boutique printer underneath Image. Yeah. So the Image deal is it's mine. I own it. It's all mine. They own the publishing rights. That's it. But I also don't get paid.
Skybound?
What's that?
But you actually sell it to Skybound. Like Skybound owns whatever.
Hold on. I'm gonna break it down for you, baby. I'll give you the whole. I don't care. So for Image, it's mine. They don't give me an advance. They own the printing rights. I own everything else. So if I want to sell it to Hollywood, which I've done for all of my books, I have to do that. I have an agent, and the only money I get is the profits. Okay. So you're kind of rolling the dice on yourself. If you're just like me, like I did Rock Candy Mountain, where I did everything except for the coloring, it was fairly profitable for me. If I had a team, it would have been rough. Skybound owns it, but they pay me as if I own half of it. Like Assassination, me and Erica own 25% each. Me and Chris own 25%, but we do not. They treat us as if we do, but they own the property. They own all the rights. So that's the difference. I get an advance from Skybound, and they take very good care of me. That's why I love Skybound, man. Papa Kirkman's always very nice to me. They do a good job promoting my books. I really like Skybound. There's different reasons to work for all the publishers, but those are kind of my two kind of favorites right now. Image is risky, Skybound's not, but like I get all the option money off an Image book, whereas with Skybound it's different because it's like the book has to make a profit, and then there's an option, and then the options minus the profits, and then it's split 4 ways, basically 3 ways. So that's the difference.
Awesome.
But I think basically Skybound uses Image's print and distribution infrastructure.
It's really cool to hear somebody actually break that down. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Hey, if you like that, you should join my Patreon. I talk about stuff all the time. I don't do it that often though. It's not worth it. But I do. If I get on Patreon, if I get a commission, generally if I get a couple commissions, I'll turn on the camera and I will answer questions, and I'll talk to Match. You know what?
You draw them?
Yeah. But it's only when I get a couple commissions. I try to do it once a month. I also do it like my sticker club. I do a sticker. We're doing the quiz, but I do a sticker club now to kind of make it more worth the time for people who just want to support me, because it really does. Comics, it doesn't make me rich, baby. But I do a sticker club where you get 2 stickers a month. This month is complicated, but like last month was What We Do in Shadows. It's all the main characters. So $5 for only $5 you get 2 stickers, and once a month, that's it right there. I try to once a month minimum. If I'm busy with commissions, I do it a bunch. I try to jump on and talk, but like right now I'm writing, I'm not drawing anything, and it's tough. Writing is for me is so cerebral. It's tough for me to stop and be like, well, let's go just hang out with people. So I did the sticker club to kind of like make it like people are getting something back, along with I usually give discount. Like I take care of my patrons a lot, but I love talking about the industry. And I also love talking about the industry where people in the industry aren't watching me, potentially getting me in trouble. So Patreon's great for that. I like to talk about things, and like you get to vote on my sticker club and whatever. But if you like this stuff, man, I do it. Like I love talking about the industry I'm a very honest person, so I try to be very careful.
I think we can tell. That's awesome to see that. To see somebody actually talk about comics and comic creation.
It's not secrets. It's not secrets. People, it's just everyone's experience is different, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like because
I'm glad to hear that Robert Kirkman is cool to other creators like you, because I'll tell you, Robert Kirkman is by far the single most conscientious about comic shops out of any of the publishers.
I didn't actually hear what you said.
That dude supports the direct market.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I should pick his brain.
He supports the direct market. He will send special promo books, retailer thank you variants that he doesn't charge us for. He has surprises the way he releases a book. I mean, he released a book by just putting it out there and saying, here's a book. And he sent us all free copies of it to sell. That was Die. He did some gimmicks with Oblivion Song. He's done
Did you say he wrote you a
with
song?
the whole Negan Lives thing last year.
He has a comic called Oblivion Song.
Do what?
He said that he wrote you a song. Those are both two really good books, by the way. I stand by Kirkman. Papa Kirkman's good. Hey, I will say I'm a Midwesterner, so I don't know if that plays into it. We're both Midwestern boys.
But no, he has done more for retailers than any other publisher out there, just as an individual.
He can afford to, though. You have to count that in too.
Yeah.
Well, you're right, but so can DC and Marvel. But you don't see them doing it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll email him. I'm gonna ask about this. I'm gonna pick his brain.
Real quick, I
mean, look at Negan Lives that he put out last year, right?
Hold on. What's that, Jeremy?
Before we move too far away from Patreon, just throwing that back up there. I am one of your Patreon subscribers. Everyone should consider it. Just go check it out. It's worth it.
I didn't know that, Jeremy.
No, I was just trying to plug you. All right, back to Papa Kirkman.
He's great.
I love him. As a retailer, I got nothing but respect for Robert Kirkman. And quick funny story, back before he did anything real big, when he was doing Battle Pope, which sounds like it's right up your alley, I would guess, if you've ever read Battle Pope.
I didn't know he did that.
A guy at my store, his name was also Josh. I was going to Wizard World, and I said, "What do you want me to bring you back?" And he said, "If Robert Kirkman is there, I want you to have him draw me a picture of Battle Pope, giving you the finger and saying F you." And so I went and found Robert Kirkman at his little booth there in Chicago, and I said, "This is what my guy back at the store who's running it, so I can be here. This is what he wants." And he's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." So he drew it. And like you do at a convention, when you run around and you get people to draw sketches for you, they always want to look at what else you got, right? And every single person stopped at that. They're like, "This is brilliant. Where did you get this?" So, yeah, Ultimate Josh is holding on to that awesome Robert Kirkman sketch with Battle Pope to this day. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
It's awesome. Cool. Kirkman's not doing Wizard World anymore, guys. That's not going to happen.
Oh, no. That was long time ago.
A long time ago.
Kirkman to draw, someone give him the finger is a lot harder to do. Yeah,
getting that from him is more challenging today.
He's not drawing anything now, baby. He's not drawing. He doesn't have to lift a pen.
He's drawing checks. He's like, "Ooh,
that's right.
Ooh, here's another one. Oh, thank you. Is this on
I
the
love
money
him.
tree?"
I think he's great. I think he's a really talented. I saw someone just did that. I was gonna say thank you. Thanks, man. I hope you enjoy it. He's great, man. I think Kirkman. There's not very many creators who are consistently as good as he is either, in my opinion.
He's done a lot of really cool stuff.
Everything he's done is even the worst. I mean, even like the worst thing he's done is like that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. And this, I agree with Owen too. I wish to goodness that he would be the guy in charge of DC Publishing right now, because DC Publishing right now is a travesty.
Lots of Batman. More Batman.
I try to tell people in the month of April, out of all the hundreds of top tier characters and thousands of other characters that DC has to choose from, literally the month of April 2021, 38% of all comics DC published were Batman.
I heard that. I just did a signing at a store in Chicago. And they're like, we think it was higher than that. But I was like, I heard 40%. And it's like, that's crazy. But hey,
if they round it up, I mean, yeah, it was 38%.
Ooh, look at these.
So that's a good segue because our next question, it's got Batman in it. Okay, so what we're gonna play for next. These are from my own collection. This is issue 1, 2, and 3, or chapter 1, 2, and 3 of Rock Candy Mountain by Kyle Starks. These not signed. Just got them at a comic book store. So out of my own collection.
If you like them, go to my store. I'll sell you the 2 collected volumes signed.
Right on. Okay, so Josh, question 8.
All right. You have to really think back on this one. Making his debut in Detective Comics number 20 in 1938, a full 6 months before Batman, what often forgotten character was actually DC's first masked superhero?
Who is DC Comics' first masked superhero?
6 months before Batman.
I'm thinking through the list, and the thing is, I know like Blue Beetle. No, that's Charleston, so it wouldn't have been. It could have been Blue Beetle. It's Detective Comics, so it's not Green Lantern. He wasn't around then, I don't think. Was it Green Lantern? No. Okay, all right. I was like, what's his face? Blonde Green Lantern. Alan Walker.
Alan Scott.
Alan. That's close.
I've never even heard of this guy, personally.
Alan Scott?
No, he knows the answer.
The answer. Yeah, the answer.
Right, let me think. Is he still?
Right.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: is this character still around? Okay.
As much as 62% of DC characters are used.
No. Let me ask you this question: did this character ever have an ongoing series? Maybe.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not.
Not that I'm aware of. Certainly not that I remember.
I will tell you, Kyle.
Where are the Rick and Morty questions?
We had him kind of pull them, so it wasn't just Rick and Morty.
I'm glad. Because here's the thing. I've never worked for DC, you know?
So you get to say whatever you want.
Batman ain't never cut me no chet, you know?
So I'm what am I, 36? I'm an avid comic book fan. I don't read every single issue. I don't know who this guy is.
Because here's the thing, Jeremy. As soon as they say the name, I'll be like, oh yeah. And it won't be fake. It's just like, listen, the older you get, the less space you have in your brain. Earlier, I was an art history minor. I cannot think of who did the Mutt Urinal, and I love that art. I love them. It's like I'm blanking on it. You know why?
The Muppets?
Say it again.
The Muppets? What did you say?
No.
The Mutt Urinal.
The Mutt Urinal. I can't think of the genre, like the period. I'm completely blank. I studied art history at college. I'm completely blank. What do I know? Probably my kids' birthdays. Definitely my wife's birthday.
Probably.
Those are good ones.
Definitely my wife's
birthday. If you got to lose the Mutt Urinal for your wife's birthday, your kid's birthday, that's pretty good. I just
did the signing, and I was like, man, Chris asked me, he's like, hey, my best friend Chris Schweitzer, who also is the artist on Six Sidekicks Keaton from Skybound Comics, available at Haven Comics now. He was like, hey, what's the name of the bad guy from Roadhouse? I love Roadhouse. Not only do I love Roadhouse,
great movie.
The name of the villain in my first book, Sex Castle, is his name flipped. I know this. I can't tell you his name. I don't even know it right now. All right. I don't know. I know these things, but I don't know anything. The name of this character.
Now, is he talking about is he talking about the big bad guy, the life
of
the big dream, sweetheart?
No, his name is.
Or is he talking about? Right. I was trying to figure if he's talking about him or the guy who actually gets his throat ripped out by the river.
No one cares about that guy. He shows up at the end. He's a throwaway. He's a MacGuffin villain. I'm going to say the name of this character is the Silver Banshee.
That's pretty good.
You're not far off because it is a color and then a word.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, of course it is.
The first one I see with the correct answer.
You know what? I think Crimson Avenger they brought back at the late 90s, but they didn't have their own series. But I think they were trying to
No, he's been around, but never as a consistent thing. Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed about not knowing that, guys. I had sex this week, so you know.
Oh man!
Fun question. Good one. Total aside, unrelated here. Do you know who created Green Lantern?
Who created?
Who created Green Lantern?
Bill Kane says he invented.
Is the same guy who also created the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Well, you know what? Hold on,
Martin-
was this Alan Scott or was this this is Alan Scott, right?
Alan Scott, Green Lantern. Yes. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know who this person is, but I can tell you they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
His name was Martin O'Dell.
And the Ring with No Wood. That's such a good. I remember people like the Ring with No Wood, especially in the '90s when again comics died. And luckily it came back. It was terrible. People were like, "Oh, it can't work on wood." Are they like, "Oh, can't work on yellow? Just paint your face yellow." And
We
like,
had a whole episode recently about how 90s comics were trash.
oh yeah, they were. But like, people are also like people were like trying to like it's like right when the internet was coming around, so people were starting to get hot takes from people they didn't know that just sounded funny. And it's like, listen, giving your character like a super common, obvious weakness makes that character so much more interesting because we all know how common it is. Think of how great it is for them to come over this thing. Also think about how great it is when like even a dumb idea like painting everything in the cave yellow. That's great. When it happens, it's great. Like don't make fun of it. Like embrace it. There should be more of that. Right? Like there should be more of like I'm completely impervious to everything except for Pepsi. Only Coke Zero, actually. Let's be honest. I'm impervious to everything except for soda. It's like, let's go. Get that soda sponsorship. Come on.
Okay, so bonus
I'm with
question
you on
time. Dumb as hell weakness from the original Green Lantern. We've talked about this before. The first person to get the answer to the dumbest weakness. You said
He just said it.
no.
That's
Yellow.
okay.
We're talking about a
the other
different
one
one.
too. They didn't hear
No,
me.
he also said the other one.
He did?
No, but
Yeah.
maybe not.
Man, I'm a space case.
Were you
I
not
don't
listening
have
to the
yellow.
word?
Huh? Hey,
You're just fixated on the second part.
you
But see,
can
people are already.
I'm
Listen,
still thinking about an
Travis
adult
already
man
got it.
that's
You
married
gotta give
having sex once a
spinach.
week.
You gotta give it to Travis.
Travis,
Good job,
it's Travis. Rick and Morty Worlds Apart #1. I gotta give these things away. Okay. Rick and Morty Worlds Apart #1. That goes to Travis. So there we go.
Yeah, with Crimson Avenger, right? Same
Hey,
person. I think.
Sometimes I gotta read stuff,
Yep.
Josh. I'm sorry I spaced. I got stuff over here.
That's a
man.
good point. What are those commercials for the yellow wood? That would be the ultimate Green Lantern
That's
villain right there.
Number 2 pencil. Calm down. I'm listen. You can't hurt me with a number 2 pencil. Like Green Lantern's not sweating your number 2 pencil. Come on, people.
The Joker
Listen,
could
we
hurt
need
you.
to-
He could do a disappearing trick.
You don't think he's prepared to deal with a number 2 pencil? Come on.
Zach
I mean, maybe
said
the Joker would
before
just pull a
Travis, he
disappearing
says.
trick on him with the number 2 pencil.
Zach Bringman, you just won Rick's new hat. So Zach Bringman won Rick's new hat because he also said wood, and he contests that he said it before Travis. But honestly, that's a lot of effort to go back that far up and look at it. Okay, so
That's a lot of effort.
hey, I only got so much brain space. This man knows. He says he can remember 2 things: his kid's birthdays and wife's birthday. I'm the same. I mean, you asked me my social security number, I gotta look it up.
Think about if they had these type of quiz shows pre-internet, but still had the internet. Like people, I used to have information stored. I don't need it anymore. If I need to know something, what's the name of that actor? I don't know.
Right? You would just not know. I remember those days. Someone had asked you a question, you're just like, I don't know. And they said, I don't know either.
I knew things then. Then
Yeah.
I knew things. Now, why bother? I Google
Yeah,
it.
who cares? Speaking of, you'll know this one, right? So what are we playing for? You will. I think you will. I know you.
I think I'm like 2 for
'Cause you-
8 now.
You wrote a series based on this question. All right. So what we're playing for right now is Assassination Nation.
Nope, it's just
So this-
assassination.
What? I've just been saying that wrong this
I know.
entire time.
Everyone does. That's the name of a movie that came out at the same time. It's just assassination, which is a better title if you think about it. Really.
Nation. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But like, it just tricked my brain into this.
Everyone does it. I was warned not to do it, but here we are.
thing. And it is.
I was warned not to do it, but I fought the man.
The prize cam has shown us the interior is very slick. Lots of
Eric Anderson.
violence. Who's this guy?
Well, it's Eric Anderson. Eric Anderson's the artist. She's incredible.
Right on. Okay. Who wants to win that? This
Oh my
one,
God.
honestly, you either know it or you don't. You either watch the show or you don't.
Okay.
And Rick and Morty just won. What is the real name of Rick's friend that he calls Gearhead?
Oh, I can't say it. I can't remember what it is. I know it's long. It's complicated.
Honestly, I thought the answer was Gearhead because I read it wrong because I was listening to you guys talk and trying to be engaged.
So Gearhead is what Rick calls him, and it's a racial slur against the Gearhead people. Yeah.
I take it back that you would just know it because
here's the thing.
Right before he took out his family jewel.
Yeah, if you would ask me again before we got on, it's like 5 syllables. Something Glear blocks. Spheronoid Glear blocks. I know I'm not right, but I know I'm close.
Oh man,
I should know this one. It's embarrassing.
We've got one half right answer, but following right up behind it is the full right answer. So I think I got to give it to Peter. It is Revolio Clockberg Jr. And Kyle said you're right. It's a racial slur to call him Gearhead. So I thought the answer was Gearhead. I don't know why I just went on about it.
I'll also say if the question is like, what's the name of or who is the actor? Like I never know those. If the question is like, what did so and so do? I'd be like, let me tell you what he did.
Because you remember Social Context.
Strange detail.
Yeah.
My friend Schweitzer, again, the artist, he knows the actors. He knows back actor, like minor characters, and he will say just the names of either the actor or the character without context and expect me to know what he's talking about. And I'm like, my dude, like, I know 10 actors. I used to know more. It's like, I know 10 actors.
That's my friend Damon. He always is. He knows all the actors. He knows the directors. He knows the guy who wrote the musical score. He knows who the key grip was. And you're like, dude, how do you keep that in your head?
You have to want to. The answer is you have to want to. And I don't. Schweitzer the other day was like, oh man, you know who my favorite underrepresented musical composer is? And I'm like, I can't. What do you mean? He's like the one? No. I think
how many does he have? Many are his favorite.
It's like there's the Star Wars guy. There's the guy who used to be a Devo, and that's it. That's all I know. I don't know their names. I'm bad.
Do you remember what his answer was? Because now I'm curious.
No, I could look, but we talked. It's like I can't. If me and Schweitzer talked about it, I'll never be able to find it. I'll look when we do next question. I'll see if I can find it.
I always think of Alan Silvestri because I always wonder, was he related to Mark Silvestri? Because I tie it into comic books. But that's a guy who did music for movies for a long time. But I couldn't tell you what movies. No idea.
While Kyle is looking that up, I'm going to throw on the prize cam. So this is Rick and Morty Volume 10. And you will see that this is signed by Kyle with a drawing of Mr. Meeseeks.
Okay, Mr. Meeseeks.
And then you see it signed down there. Prize cam, if you don't mind flipping through that. Okay. My daughter is 2, loves watching Rick and Morty because she thinks that Summer is my wife. So just a fun little aside. And then you can enjoy this. It's fun.
This guy's name is Jeff Grace. How would I know? How would I know that? He did the Ty West movies. I
have no idea who that is either.
Yep, but he'll just say it like I'm supposed to. Oh, he did Innkeepers. That's a great horror movie. He's only seen 5, just the 5 you haven't seen. So it seemed like he's real smart. That's a good trick if you can pull it off.
Yeah, Jeremy has an appalling lack of movie cred. He just hasn't seen anything. I
haven't watched a bunch of shitty movies that came out before I was born.
No. Have you seen Goonies?
Give me a break. No. When did Goonies come out?
I don't know. You seen Casablanca?
Doesn't matter. It's amazing.
Star Wars?
Huh? Casablanca? Okay. Casablanca's art. Goonies is what I mean.
Whoa!
You can't judge that because you don't know.
Because it's got laser sword in it. That's a weird.
No. Casablanca's art. Wait, hold on. What are we? Did you say Star Wars? I didn't say Star Wars.
Star Wars came out before you were born too. That's all I was saying.
Star Wars, okay, but I don't really like it.
Oh, I don't either. So that makes me feel better about it. Goonies is real good. Goonies was written by Christopher Columbus, right? Like he's legit. Spielberg produced, Christopher Columbus written. This is an all-star team. Everyone in it's an actor you like in something else now.
The cast is excellent. Goonies is a wonderful movie, and
Yo, I can't watch Tusk. Is that really your favorite movie?
I hate Tusk.
Okay.
They're just trolling me.
I can't do body horror at all.
Ever.
Body horror is like my big.
Oh God.
I can't do body horror. It's my one thing I just can't do. It's because I saw The Fly on like my parents' friend's TV once when I was little. That's not right. Don't let little kids see that. That's also like Shaggy DA. Shaggy DA creeps me out too because he gets turned into a dog.
I have never seen Indiana Jones. I hear that that's a good movie. I got no interest in it. It's aged.
The first two are great. You know what they haven't? Here's why they haven't aged is because I don't think Goonies has either. But the reason why Indiana Jones hasn't aged is because it's a pulp movie that came out in the 80s. It was set in a different era. You know what I'm saying? So it hasn't aged. It's not like like my wife like a few years ago was like, oh, I'm gonna watch The Wire. Everyone loves The Wire, and she turned it on, and everyone's using like these Zach from Saved by the Bell cell phones, and she's like, I can't watch it. And I'm like, I get that. That makes sense. But it's like Indiana Jones is like he has a bullwhip. Like it's not like it's set in like you're not gonna be like that's not something I'm used to seeing. It's like yeah, no one's used to seeing it. He has a bullwhip. Indiana Jones is good. I think Goonies is I don't know. I was like because I don't disagree. Like it's like there's a lot of movies you probably don't need to see, but it's like there's some movies that are classics, even though you don't think they're traditional classics. They're not like I mean like I love the Marx Brothers, right? Like are you watching Marx Brothers movies? I wouldn't make fun of you for not watching Marx Brothers, but Marx Brothers are real funny. Like if you want a real funny movie, but the thing is like you'll go, oh, well, it doesn't seem timely. It's like, yeah, but they're set in castles. Like they're not even made. You know what I mean? Like they're not made. The Fly is messed up, man.
It is.
Goonies is one movie I always go to a lot because I feel like it's timeless. It has a lot of really great performances. Like there's no argument that Chris Columbus is a great screenwriter. There's no question that was Steven Spielberg's window of everything he did was great. Like have you seen Ferris Bueller? Do you like Ferris Bueller?
That's why the first two Harry Potter movies are watchable, and the rest of them aren't. Columbus did a bunch of great stuff. There's some action movies. There's some action movies that be like you have to watch. Have you seen RoboCop?
I've seen RoboCop. RoboCop is a masterpiece. Okay, so everyone hates me because I haven't seen Harry Potter. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
No, you don't need to see those.
Yeah, give me a break. Like I don't want.
You're not missing it. You know, those are 3 hours of magic. Who cares?
I did make a bet that I would watch 2 Harry Potters if someone watched a whole season of Rick and Morty. So I'm going to watch 2 of them.
Don't do it. You're supporting a turf. Don't do it.
There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. I mean, it's just I don't want.
These are a bunch of fantasy shows. People want you to watch elves. Get out of here.
I mean, like, am I supposed to go back and watch Charmed? I don't want to.
No, you're not supposed to watch Charmed.
No, you don't need to watch Charmed, but you should listen to the preponderance of people who say watch Goonies.
Send me a message. As a Patreon, Goonies is good. As your Patreon, next time you send me a little DM and I'll tell you whether or not you need to watch it. All right?
Okay. I'll
get movie watching advice from
someone's like, listen. If someone's like, listen, Lord of the Rings has some technical stuff that's really great.
Yeah.
The technical stuff. You've seen it in other movies now, okay? Here's the thing. That's like 14 hours of movie. You don't have time for that.
I don't.
14 hours of elves fighting a tree?
I got a kid. I got a wife. I got stuff.
Splendid.
They are fun, but it's like, man, you know, the great thing about Lord of the Rings is that you can put them on and not pay much attention. Watch Goonies, though. I do kind of.
That's how I'll placate everyone moving forward. I will
let you know as my Patreon. I do think my plan is so we do 2 like 3x3 stickers generally. I think for the 1-year anniversary, which will be October, I am going to do Goonie stickers, and I think I'm going to do like a 6-inch Goonies, like a big one, and then I'm going to do the Crime Family as the second one.
Right on. Yeah. If I get that, I will be happy to give it away on the show. I'm sure it'll be glorious.
Damn. He just doesn't want to watch Goonies, man.
I just don't. I mean,
I have seen it. I love Goonies. Right. I watch Goonies all the time. I love
Kyle Starks is telling me to watch Goonies. All right, I'll buy.
No, I'm not. Here's what I'm saying. But I do want to point out that was like the first thing I said, right? Back to the Future. Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yes.
Yeah, those are fun, right?
Yes.
It's that same feeling, but it's like. Here's the thing. In Jeremy's defense, these are both like pure Indiana Jones and Goonies. They're pure adventure movies, right? They're like that. When you say adventure movie, to me, you're talking about exactly what you get from those 2. There's probably a couple others. For someone who's born not in the 70s, Goonies, I was like, man, it just feels like the one that you would have missed when you were a kid because it was you were so much before, right? And also, it's like a kids movie where there's like a penis statue in it. Come on. Yeah, I've seen it, man. I've seen it. I love the Goonies.
Sorry,
that was a huge tangent.
No,
I would like to point this out. No, wait, it moved. Here it is.
Voodoo chips? The voodoo chips that you get from Potbellies? Those are good.
Yeah, I think so. Josh
I
didn't eat voodoo chips because I wanted him to, though. But Josh did watch 2 episodes of Rick and Morty for the show. Josh has traditionally been a hater.
Ooh, which episode did you watch? Did you watch episode 1 and episode 2?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had them pick episodes for me that they liked. So it was season 1, episode 6, and then season 2, episode 2, I think.
Which one?
I should have told
Meeseeks? I would do the Meeseeks episode.
No.
And I would do Total Recall.
No.
That'd be the 2 I would do.
My wife and I were talking about that. She said I should have did Total Recall, and I did the Cronenberg episode because that's where the show for me got passed.
Yeah. Cronenberg's pretty good.
And then I should have given him the Vindicators episode. No,
but that's not. Well, you're a big superhero guy, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think that's the worst episode they did ever.
But he would have liked it.
Yeah. Midnight Morty runs.
But this was the other one that's the one Owen had me watch.
Remind me what happened in Midnight Morty Run, Owen.
That's where they dropped off the dad in the place where he just got dropped off, apparently. And then they met the gearhead guy, and there was like the living fart. I guess
because the fart is what's his face from
Jermaine, yeah.
And he sings that great song, like the best. That's my ringtone for a while. And then at the end, he's just like, okay, and he shoots him.
Yeah.
That's a good episode. The first 2 seasons are great. First 2 seasons are perfect. Besides episode 1. Yeah, you can call me God. Season 3, a little rough. Season 4, I thought was pretty good. I don't like the Vindicators episode. Do you want to guess the other episode I don't like? Season 3. It's the most popular one. Spoilers.
The entire season?
No, I liked a lot of season 3. But there's 2 episodes I just didn't love for different reasons. I thought they were the least. Rick and Morty never leaves a joke on the table. That's what I like about him. And those Vindicators and you know what? I know Harmon did not want to do a superhero. I know he didn't. And you can tell. Like that's a forced episode. I don't like the Pickle Rick episode for a lot of different reasons. Anyway.
The Sex Dragon episode?
I think the Sex Dragon episode's pretty good up until the point where it's like all of them, like he's having an orgy with his grandkid, which I think they tried to do earlier. They do it in the Face Alien episode too in season 4. It's like, hey, my dudes, calm down. Josh is correct. He's correct.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to be like, let's do this more than once.
Yeah.
No,
the Sex Dragon episode was too much for me.
I like a lot of the Sex Dragon. I like the cat. Everyone likes the cat in the Sex Dragon. Issue.
I like the cat part. I like the cat part.
I like the Sex Dragon is like it's a good idea, but they didn't take it too far. They went a direction that I wouldn't have, which doesn't mean anything.
So if anybody hasn't seen the Sex Dragon episode, basically they go into a D&D world and it's like a fantasy world. Yeah, and then the dragons there are like they're too much. They're horny, ridiculous monsters. But that episode is how I feel about fantasy. So everybody that's all over me all the time about D&D, I like D&D. But D&D movies like Lord of the Rings.
Well, they did the one earlier with like.
Do not call Lord of the Rings a D&D movie. I'll smack you upside the head. That is wrong.
Hey, they are doing a D&D movie with Chris Pine, and I'm going to watch that. I'm all over it if Chris Pine's in it.
What's the other Morty episode where they do a D&D with slippery stairs? Is like Morty just wants to play with.
I love that one. The episode that's Morty's adventure.
He always wants to do fantasy stuff, and it's a sci-fi show. It's very funny. Yeah. Let's keep moving. What's next?
Oh, that episode hurt.
We got one question left.
Oh, I'm gonna get it because I've done bad.
This last question's a weird one. I have to say, I don't know where Owen dug this one up.
What?
But this is the kind of thing that might be tucked away in your head somewhere.
This is
strange wildly famous Jehovah's Witness did George Lucas ask to perform at his wedding in 2013?
What?
What wildly famous Jehovah's Witness, which first of all you did not know,
Yes.
did George Lucas ask to perform at his wedding in 2013?
Let me think about my favorite, my top 5 Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't fucking. Is it? Are they a musician?
Yes.
Yes.
Is
They're
it Prince?
Wildly pop. Yes.
Whoa!
Audience.
How did you arrive at that?
Hold on. Here's why. When you say perform, I'm trying to think of actors. If you say musicians, I know Prince is Jehovah's Witness because I just listened to the Rivals episode about Prince and Michael Jackson. They had a feud. I know a little bit about Prince. That's the answer. Was it Prince?
It was Prince.
Yeah.
It is Prince.
See? What the hell? But I was thinking like an
Wow.
actor. I think it's like an actor or something. So
Jason, I think you got it. Jason Edmonds is the first person to have said it in the comments. And he said it pretty much right on with you. And we're 15 seconds behind. So I think that you didn't spoil it for him.
I'm like 3 for 9 though. That's not good. That's failing.
Hey, that's a funky question to have got right. So you did
That
great.
yeah, that you went out on top.
That was like
because
that was like the
weird.
general knowledge one. I feel like I got.
Got
did well.
the little widget on Trivial Pursuit. That's right.
I'm sorry, Haven comic fans. I did the best I could.
Hey,
It's
this
okay
is
because they
actually
won all
right
the
on
prizes,
par.
so it all worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't take it in for myself.
And it's also not too far off from our average winner.
I don't want to be average.
It's usually
I want to be
pretty
elite.
close. You're superlative.
I want people to go, man, that Starks is a smart guy for the first time in years.
It's
That
failing,
was a moral
but
victory.
it's professional baseball level batting average, so it's about.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a way to think about it. I'd be in the Hall of Fame, I think, for 333 as a moral.
That's a moral victory question. I like it. There you go. There you go.
Hey, that's all I want. That's all I want. To put smiles on the people's faces, to bring a little entertainment to the affair. I still can't say that dude's name, and you guys said it like 3 times. So I think you're right. Revelio Clorglox third.
Revolio Clockberg Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never.
I mean, go hug your wife after this. What do you care? Okay.
I mean, that guy
think
was
she's
in
asleep.
one of the 2 episodes I saw.
That's the only 2 episodes he's in. I think he's in a third one. I think he's actually in the third one, but he's really only on 2.
And he's in the
Vindicators
episode.
also. So he would have been in the other episode they wanted you to watch. That's crazy.
Dudes, okay. So next, the prize cam has tabulated the results for me. And we've got the Haven prize pack went to Peter Lewis, the Vampire Pen, and the Inktober PDF went to Jeffrey Middleton. We've got the 6 Sidekicks book went to Travis Goodwin and Zach Bringman. The Canadian question went to Kim Middleton. Jacqueline Cook picked up Never So Special. I hope you like that, Jacqueline. If you don't, I'll buy it back from you. She also picked up the signed All for One sketchbook. Travis Goodwin picked up Rock Candy, Mountain, the trio. And then Peter Lewis got Assassination.
That's
got
it,
right.
baby. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle, for correcting me. That's signed. And then we've also got the Rick and Morty trade paperback signed, and we've got Mr. Meeseeks. That went to Jason Edmonds. We've also got some giveaways here. Zach Bringman got Deathstalkers. Travis Goodwin got Worlds Apart, and then Zach Bringman also got Rick's new hat. So Zach, you're gonna start a little collection.
Little Rick and Morty pile.
So from my point of view, I think that was a pretty good episode, and I have to say,
I tried.
I think that was fun.
It's a bop, man. It's a bop.
you can tell how cool somebody is by whether or not they dance to that song when no one can see them.
Listen, if I see someone tell me a great job, I'm dancing anyway, though. I'm like a very excited dog. Good job, really? Me? Oh, thank you. It's so exciting.
Me? I'm so excited. Yay.
We did it.
That's awesome.
I had a lot of fun having you on the show, getting to talk to you. Do you have anything you want to tell us about other than to pick up 6 Sidekicks?
Pick up 6 Sidekicks. You can pre-order Old Head through Image Comics now. It's a It's a graphic novel about an ex-pro basketball player and his daughter fighting Dracula and some sex monsters. It's very funny. It's already gotten a lot of Hollywood interest. So go ahead and jump on that early. Yeah, man. I said my Patreon. You can follow me on all social medias. I'm the Kyle Starks. I have a store. Everything's signed. If you're into that, Patreon, whatnot. I'm around. I make comic books. If you haven't read some of my stuff, read some of my stuff. It's good.
Let's go ahead and throw.
And we're also going to try and talk him into coming to Huntsville next year if he can squeeze that in for the expo.
Yeah, man. I'm a real have gun will travel with shows, so probably I'm hoping to get to more shows next year. I'm kind of trying to take it easy this year. I say that, but I did one in a signing, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do a bunch of. Maybe I should do a bunch now, but I don't think my body's ready to physically do the work of being gone every weekend like I have been more than once. My comic, 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, is my most recent one. But I've done a bunch, man. I've done a whole bunch. Assassination, Rock Candy Mountain, Dead of Winter, Killed Them All, Sex Castle, 45 issues of Rick and Morty. I did 1 issue of Invader Zim. I actually drew a page of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, which has the Mole Man and Fantastic Four on it, which I think is a pretty good Marvel run.
Can't beat that.
My other appearance was I drew the Galactus card. So my entire Marvel resume is I've drawn the Fantastic Four, I've drawn Galactus, and at the time I wrote the only dedicated D-Man story in Marvel history, and I love D-Man, so that was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff. I've been around.
Is D-Man the guy with the pot on his head?
D-Man is dressed like a mix between
he looks like Wolverine, but he's homeless.
The homeless thing it makes me so mad. So don't get me started.
No, I get you.
He's not homeless. He made a lot of money being a professional wrestler, and he took all of his money to take care of basically the poor man's marauders without superpowers, Morlocks. And they decided that was funny because the people in Marvel don't have any sense of humor, really. And they're like, oh, get it? He's stinky. It's like, yeah, that guy took his hard-earned riches to go help the homeless. Let's make fun of him. That's awesome. Do you know who made D-Man's costume? D-Man made his costume. Do you know what other costume? Where's this trivia? Do you know what other costume D-Man made? This one will blow your mind. It's true. This is the Mark Gruenwald run of Captain America. He made the U.S. Agent costume. That's all D-Man. He designed that. He designed it and sewed it.
Why?
That's awesome.
Well,
I did not
Captain
know
America
that.
wasn't Captain America. I think that cartoon, the show they did. Captain America, Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America anymore. He was like on the run. So Mark Gruenwald, who's my favorite, like I adore
awesome.
Mark Gruenwald. His Captain America run is pure comics, pure just. There's no grit, nothing bad happens. It's just good superhero stories. At one point in time, this guy Paladin shoots Lady MODOK up her butt. Anyway, it's great. And he's like, this seems effective. It's like, no shit, no crap, Paladin. Anyway, so Steve Rogers was on the run. So D-Man, D-Man's homosexual now, which I don't think is incorrect. He really loved Captain America. Captain America was his idol as a hero. So him, Nomad, who's a jerk through the whole thing. They decided Nomad should be like just this real petty jerk. And the Falcon are like, let's go find Captain America. So they do this weird road trip in like D-Man's bus or his van. And when they find him, he's like, hey, Cap, he's like, I know you can't be Captain America anymore, but I made the suit for you. You made the U.S. Agent suit for him. I love it, man. That Mark Gruenwald run is
awesome. I did not know that, and that's brilliant.
The way you tell the story is way more interesting to me than I think the story would actually be.
You know, here's the thing about Gruenwald. Gruenwald was a big editor, and so like he did all of the like official handbooks of the Marvel Universe. He was really looked at like the lore master for Marvel, but he was also like a really respected editor. And he started writing. He did DP7 for New Universe, which is one of my favorite maxi series of all time. It does the whole what if normal people had powers all of a sudden in a way that isn't like cloying or overly violent or weird. It just seems very naturalistic. It's very good. I really like DP7. It's a lot of fun, interesting new character ideas too. But then he did a really long run on
Force Moratori was a good book at the time.
No, that wasn't him though. He did
I know it wasn't him, but it was around the same time period when it came out.
Yeah, Strike Force Moratori is wild. Yeah.
There was some really good books
Supreme,
at that time
which was basically him aping the Justice League and sort of how they were like doing real kind of gritty things with the Justice League at the time. And when he died, Jeremy, he had some of his ashes put into the ink. So the first print run has some Mark Gruenwald ashes in it, which is crazy. But it's like 12 issues. It's really clever. And then he did Cap. He did Quasar. Here's the thing about Mark Gruenwald, because I think there's one thing. If Mark Gruenwald could do one thing well, we would all be talking about him as one of these creators who had long runs. Like the dude just couldn't write dialogue, man. His dialogue is so corny, but it's like it's not like it's bad. It's just very corny. And I think people would go, it's like Kurt Busiek. I think it's like a lot like the same thing that Kurt Busiek brings. It's like, it's just fun superhero stories, man. Like, what do you want? You just want to have a good time, and it's a little bit clever. It's bad guys fighting good guys over things. He did Cap Wolf. I mean, this dude did Cap Wolf. Come on. Cap Wolf, he's like, we need to make Captain America a werewolf. Who should we bring in to help him? Dr. Druid. Let's go. Let's go.
Like fun, high concept stuff, but you just like couldn't. You had to slog through it because of the dialogue.
No, the dialogue is just fun. It's just like the thing is like no one goes, this guy is one of the greatest writers of all time, and I think that's why. I think if his dialogue was not corny, but I think it's corny on purpose. I think he was kind of referencing a prior era of Astro City is amazing. Astro City is very much. I mean, to me, it's the same as reading a Grunwald comic. It's like it's just pure superhero, bad guys fighting good guys, and the good guys have reasons, and like maybe they want to kiss. There's some of the thing is like the dialogue's bad, but some of it's so bad it's good again. There's some really weird like horny Diamondback thought bubbles, and Ron Lim was drawing it for a while. That's how I found it when Ron Lim was drawing it, and like really great Ron Lim art. Anyway, D-Man, I know stuff, guys. I know trivia.
But you've named two of the most underrated members of the Avengers team ever in D-Man and Dr. Druid already.
Dude, I love Dr. Druid. In fact, I think if you go, there's some wiki that's like a superhero wiki. I think if you go to the D-Man wiki, it has a bunch of my D-Man art I did, and one of them is like D-Man hanging out with Dr. Druid because they're all D's. They all have D's in their name. Dr. Druid, the best use of Dr. Druid was Fraction had him show up and be very good at setting up VCRs. Like he had a real gift for setting up audio, like audio equipment. Like I think that's so funny. Those are two characters that I feel are really maligned. And I know
here's a character that doesn't show up anymore, but I think that they should. Jocasta. Where has Jocasta been?
Well, you know what happened?
I loved her.
What happened with Jocasta is she became like a sex robot for a second, and that like everyone's like, oh. And here's the thing: is like these characters, people make bad decisions with them that in the moment either they think they're very edgy or they're very funny. And you know that's what they're doing. Either they think it's very comical. I think Hank Pym was hooking up with Jocasta, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the science of that, like the logistics of it.
Yeah. How creeptacular is that?
Because either Ultron made Jocasta able to with human beings with fleshy body parts in the planning for that doesn't make any sense anyway. So I like Jocasta too. I think I think D-Man is the same thing. It's like these characters get ruined because they get put in people's hands who don't have any nuance or subtlety. And that's not, I don't know who did it. I'm not down talking anybody, but I feel like I know Busiek really leaned into D-Man stinky because he wanted a comedy bit. And it's like, I get that. But it's like, it feels like it's someone who didn't know what prior creators had done with it. I feel the same way about the Great Lakes Avengers, by the way. I know Burns like a hot button, but what those literally three issues, the Great Lakes Avengers show up in, I think are a real masterclass of presenting a new idea and presenting something in a way that can be a little humorous, but is also like, it has all these depths to it. I've told it before, I'd love to do Great Lakes Avengers, but I wouldn't do a comedy. Or it'd be like my stuff. My stuff's funny, but it's not. I'm not trying to get laughs so much. It's just humorous situations. It's funny dialogue and humorous situations. But I feel like it's like, man, if you give these guys like a funny character, it's like they're not funny. They're not comedy writers. It's like they always just like goof them. Or if you try to be funny, the G-Man thing is like, I get it, but like that character has like if you like used to go out I don't think you can anymore. But you used to be able to go through like Marvel Unlimited and you could kind of follow the character. You can't do that anymore, right?
No.
I haven't done it in a while.
So like I mean, if you read through just his appearances, it's like it's what because he started like I think he was in something before Thing, but he was in the Thing miniseries for a long time with the Power Broker stuff. And the Power Broker had said this whole thing where he was like, if you don't sabotage, if you don't turn on the Thing, like I'm taking away your super muscles, which was like literally like a heroin withdrawal. And there's this great bit where like D-Man's like laying on the floor, like full withdrawals, and he's like, I'm not going to turn on my friend. I'm not going to turn on my friend. It's like, it's great, man. And then he's hanging out with Captain America, and there's a prison break. I can't remember who the characters are. I want to say the Rhino was there, and D-Man gets wrecked. D-Man gets wrecked. And the next time they do something, D-Man's like, I don't know if I can do this. He's like, I don't know if I'm good enough to do this. That's great, because you know what? He's probably not. The truth of the matter is he's literally like an F level superhero. He has like okay strength. It's like, you probably can't fight Rhino, my dude, but it's so human. And I believe, if my memory serves, Captain America's like, no, my dude, like, if you believe in yourself, like, you can do anything. And D-Man's like, yes, let's go. Like, I love, like, D-Man has, then he like he had all this money, and then he takes care of the homeless people. Ruin him. That's fine. Why not? Why not? Just ruin him. He's just a throwaway character. Give me all the throwaway characters. I'll fix them. No one wants that. No one wants that. Josh maybe wants that.
You just made me like D-Man. So
D-Man's great, my dude. Well, and he's in the Grunwald run where it's those three guys. Nomad is brutal to D-Man.
He's so awful. He
despises him. He's not mean to Falcon. He respects Falcon as a peer. But D-Man, who by the way is paying for this trip, he's backing this trip to go find Cap. It's out of his pockets. They're like, you dumb idiot. Like the whole time. I love Nomad too. I would love to do an 80s Nomad. 80s on the bike with the shotgun and the baby. Oh, I'd love to do that series. I don't know if you remember.
So you talk about taking characters, the throwaway characters, and fixing them and doing something cool with them. Lord knows he's in a lot of trouble in hot water right now, but Warren Ellis could do that for a while. He had his run on Thunderbolts was incredible. Sure. He pulled a character out of nowhere, American Eagle. Mm-hmm. The American Indian dude who nobody cared about, was a total throwaway character, and wrote one of the coolest stories. Like, made me want to read a series about that guy.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like, I feel like you have to think these guys who wrote for a long time, though, it's like you need chaff. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just need people who are going to just to mix the story up. Like, bad things are happening. I feel like there's a handful of guys. I feel like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle never have really gotten their shot since Justice League. I mean,
they're about to. They've got a series coming out.
Who's writing it?
I don't remember.
You should. I mean, they're doing that series. I'm serious. Like, those are characters that are. Those are one of my first stickers. Like, those are beloved characters that never. Outside of the Justice League and Giffen DeMatteis, and I think Booster Gold maybe had when he was in New 52. I think he had some heat, like a little bit. Like, he was. But it's like, man, these characters are beloved, and they just don't know. There used to be a character I can't think of. I don't think it was Batgirl, but there was some DC character. This was like pre-52, so it's been a while. I wish I could remember who it was because it's important to the story. But it's like they were real popular. The people loved them, and they literally had like it's editorial, because editorial we're writing the stories, but editorial, like, we're not doing anything. And like you could tell they had no idea why people like this character, and it's like that's very DC, especially like that time. I wish I could remember who it was, because it's like, man, people love it, and now they're gone. No one cares about this character, whoever it was. They're just anyway. Comic books. Give me that D-Man series. Give me that D-Man series. I'll write him up. My man Daniel Kibblesmith wrote D-Man in that Lockjaw comic. I never read it though. Daniel's real good though. He's real funny.
Lockjaw's a great character too.
I like Lockjaw, but originally, like, he wasn't a person, and it makes me crazy.
I know.
No, he was a person. Originally, he
was a person.
Just like, yeah, and it makes me crazy that they retconned that, because why? Like, isn't it better to have? Listen, I hate doing this, but for me, isn't it better to have this like incredibly loyal but amazingly tragic character? Isn't that more interesting than he's a dog? Yeah. It's way more interesting, and he's in the family. He's everybody's favorite. So it's like the worst thing that could happen to someone happened to this guy. I mean, everyone loves the shit out of him, so maybe it's not so bad. Yeah, comics, man. I don't know. They're crazy. I'm doing what I can, guys. I'm trying to keep them focused. Read some Mark Grunwald. Read DP7.
Well, we appreciate what you do, sir, and we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for joining us.
I'm sorry I didn't do any better. I wish I would have gotten 70% correct.
That's fair.
I'm sure
That's a
everyone
good
appreciates
goal to
having
aim
the
for.
opportunity.
Next time, Owen, more basketball questions.
There's
see
never
what we
been a
can do.
basketball question.
Well, I'm not surprised. That's not your guys' stuff. Yeah, no, it was fun.
Well,
we'll do it again. We'll do it again for the next book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very
At the
much,
Cosmos,
everybody. Come
follow
down to the
me.
store. Yeah, come down to the store. Pick up 6 sidekicks
Six
of Trigger
sidekicks of Trigger
Keaton.
Keaton.
Pick
Ready to
that
get
up.
some more.
Go to his. Yeah, I've got to order more. Go to his site. Go to his Patreon. Support the man. He's awesome. And
Thanks, guys.
we will catch you guys next week here on the